the featurette was like a trailer for the trailer, because now we get trailers for trailers, don't we? Which is really starting to piss me off.
Yeah, shitty.
Like, I'm going to give you a 2-second trailer of a trailer that comes out tomorrow. Shut up.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably a Disney thing as well.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello, you are listening to the 365 Flicks podcast. We are back after what seemed like about 4 months since our last regular episode, but we are back once again with a normal episode. It's episode 90, goddamn 7.
It is 97, yeah.
I am the Scottish Breeding Whore, Chris.
And I am the pissy ex-video store clerk, Kev.
Good lad. It does feel like it's been a while, doesn't it?
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time, but theoretically it's only really been 2 weeks.
It's been a busy old time.
It has been, but we sort of took a break over the last week and a half. Well, it wasn't a conscious break. We just couldn't be bothered.
I wouldn't say that.
We've had a lot of ducks to get in row.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how we've been spending our time. With some pretty cool shit to tell you about. So yeah, episode 97, we're chock-a-block. What have we got tonight for our good listeners?
So we have got our usual newsy goodness, which you have covered on this episode.
I have.
Good lad, that's fine.
Not a lot, but I have got some.
There's not been a great deal happening. We've got a few bits and pieces to speak about, but it'll be fine. We have got our Just the Pilot, which was, Sick Note, starring Rupert Grint and Nick Frost.
So it was.
We have got our Zero Percenters, which was Stranded.
Yes.
Is that the name of it? Yeah.
Yes.
Starring Christian Slater, and that's about it. And then we have an awesome top 5. It's a difficult top 5, but we've got a guest.
We do,
haven't we? We
do
have a guest top 5er. Well, he was going to be coming on the show, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to be on the show,
but then he kind of. So we are being joined, kind of,
sort of,
all the way from just wherever.
Yeah.
By Tom Paton,
Slough,
director of Black Sight and the awesome Redwood.
Yeah.
But then he sort of decided at the last minute, I can't be arsed speaking to those two. I'll just record it.
He went all Hollywood. He went all diva. He went full directors. Like, I'm not even going to phone it in with these kids. I'm just going to record a silly message and I'm going to send it over because they're not worth my time.
Was it like the Evian and the yellow M&Ms didn't arrive on time, so he said, I'm not doing it.
Although it wasn't yellow M&Ms, he wanted a bag of blue Smarties, which, as you know, are hard to get a hold of nowadays.
That is difficult.
It is difficult, but that's how much of a diva this kid is. But yeah, Tom, obviously we're just semi-joking when we say stuff like that. Because it would have been nice to have him here, but, obviously just too busy, I guess.
These things happen.
These things do happen. Tom was going to come on the Skype. It was, even though he's extremely busy right now, he did say that he was going to give us some time to record the top 5 with us and guest on it. However, some things have been getting in the way. Like I say, the man is very, very busy. And to be fair, just taking 10 minutes out of his day to record a message for us that's enough for me. That is very
well. We'll let him off until we can think of something else that's funny to say.
Yeah. I did run out very quickly. Yeah. I had this whole barrage of things that I was just going to be like, oh yeah, it was like, and then it all just left. It just went
in that accent.
Yeah,
right.
That's how he talks. Like, I don't want to speak to them.
So that's the top 5. Well, we didn't actually say what the top 5
I don't think you did. No. So let's talk about our top 5 for a second.
The best movies in the last decade.
Yep. 2007 to 2017 top 5 movies of that decade, which I struggled with. I'm still struggling with.
I think I'm there, but I had about 20 on my list.
Yeah. On the first night, I had 43. Over the space of the next 2 nights, I managed to get that down to 21. Today, as we talk right now, as we are recording, I have 7. So there's a good chance I may still have 7 when we go to the top 5.
I'm probably in the share of it.
Yeah. we
did have a crack in the car on the way up here of how we would explain that to Tom.
Well, yeah,
The verb to hobby.
I was going to say to Tom, by the way, if you have more than 5, which you most definitely will, you can hobby 1 or 2 of them. But then, in my head, I had this whole conversation with Tom. In my head, we didn't actually have the conversation, but of me explaining what to hobby something is. Because, as you say, it's a verb that is used by a certain type of people. And I don't think Tom's quite one of those people that would say, yeah, I'm going to hobby the shit out of that. Which is a shame. But
although they do, or they did, I don't know if they still do or not, listen to the show from time to time.
Yeah,
so
they do.
They may be aware of
what a hobby is.
Of what a hobby is.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, that's the top 5, and we have a nice little cheeky message that got sent in earlier from the awesome Tom Paton, director of Pandorica, Black Site, upcoming Black Site, and of course Redwood, which we're going to be getting, I think it's March next year. It's getting its big release, which I can't wait for. You have to go and seek that out. So what else do we got? That's pretty much all we got.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So you have a job to do.
Yeah.
And I wrote it on the screen for you. I did show notes, which I've never done before. I normally do for myself, but I never let you see them, because why would I? But I've done show notes. They're right in front of you. Are you going to use them?
No, I don't. I don't want them.
So you don't want to use the teleprompter?
It's cheating. It's cheating.
Even the best people used to... I bet Piers Morgan uses a teleprompter.
Fuck him.
Why? Piers Morgan, he's awesome.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, not.
Right. So, right.
But before I go into the spiel...
Okay.
Well, we plug our new thing that people can find us on, because I've got a little flow to myself, and I'm not ready to fit that in there yet. Spotify, Kev.
No, I think you should just work that into your flow.
I think so. Right, in case I fuck it up, you can find us on Spotify now.
It's like while making love to a beautiful woman, and you suddenly, halfway through, you think of a new technique that you want to use. You don't just think to yourself, you know what, I'll use that next time, at the start of next time. You don't do that. You just try it there and then.
Yeah, but I would have to check that it wasn't just something fucked up in my head.
I suppose that could go one of two ways.
You know, because my brain is not always my ally, so my brain's probably saying, stick it in her nose. And, go on, she'll do it, she'll love it. No one has ever done that and regretted it. Do it.
Funnily enough, and that is the very thing that popped into my head.
Next thing you know, the jail doors are slamming in your face.
Okay then. If you feel like there's too much pressure and you'll explode too quickly, if you try to insert Spotify into
this is the right show for you to be listening to.
Why don't you just do it your way, mate? Just do it the old-fashioned way.
Well, I'm going to try it now. Because you've annoyed me. But just in case I do fuck it up, you can now find us on Spotify.
Yes, you can.
Again, I guess, just by searching for 365 Flicks.
Yeah,
I don't use Spotify, so I ain't checked it.
I'm not 100% certain if you have to go specifically into a podcast category. As I understand, you can just go in and type 365 Flicks podcast, and you'll find us.
Right. Well, in case I fuck it up, we've done it now. It's covered.
Yep.
Okay.
I still think you should try and work it in.
I'm going to try and work it in, but I will probably fuck it up.
You do
know script.
You do know when you get to that point, I'm going to go, oh, it's up my nose, just to put you off.
Cheeky nose sex.
Oh. Anyway, so do the roar.
Unless you're fair and cotton.
Do the roar.
Okay.
Do the roar.
Right. So you can find 365 Flicks on, I fucked up already, Facebook and Twitter, just by searching for 365 Flicks Podcast. That's how it works. As always, have a look for our awesome shiny website, www.365flickspodcast.co.uk. You can find us on a few cheeky networks. We are on the Tangiburn Network. We are on the Wicked Radio Network. Almost fucked it up there. We Be Geeks, our British home, the awesome nerdly.co.uk. On the Twitters, you can find us on hashtag Podder Family and hashtag BritPodScene. Have a look for us and subscribe to us on the iTunes. Don't forget, you beautiful people, to leave us a cheeky 5 stars. Because we changed it now, didn't we?
We got a few of them.
Aye.
We got a few of them.
I did one.
Did you do one?
On my phone.
You gave us 5 stars.
Oh, yeah.
Is
that arrogant?
That's a bit arrogant. What was your name when you did it?
Chris Richardson. For that is my name.
Could you not just make it like, I don't know.
Can you do that?
Yeah, change your name.
What am I going to do that for?
I'm like Halden365 Pod or something like that.
Alright. Anyway, so Leave us 5 stars. It just makes us feel good and gets us through the day, if anything. Look for us on Spotify.
Wow.
In the nose. Have a look for us on Spotify. And you can have a look for us on any other third-party podcasting app. We are everywhere like shit in a field.
As you like.
Done, son of a bitch.
Right. So this part of the show, before we go into the news after the Big Ben bongs, I've only had 2 sips of my beautiful Angry Orchard, which I'm holding in my hand currently. A hard cider crisp apple.
Other brands are available.
Other brands are available, but this one, I assume, is the best.
Are you going to go... refreshing.
We don't get sponsored by them, unfortunately, but if you're listening, it would be nice. I discovered this wonderful cider while we were in Cincinnati at the Comic Expo. The Cincinnati...
Is that the local one, is it?
I don't know if it's a local one.
No, the local...
It's the one that they gave us, and they said it was local, but to be fair, we were foreigners in a foreign land, so they could have just been lying their asses off.
I was drinking Stella. They didn't tell me that was local.
No, they didn't say that was local. So yeah, Angry Orchard is lovely cider.
I would have known better.
Give it a try.
I don't think you know who you're talking to.
And it is gluten-free, if that's something that you're into. I don't know.
Are you going to turn an Emmical Wanker, or...
What, and do more glutens? No, because I tried a different gluten-free cider from... Aldi, other supermarkets are definitely available, and I suggest you go to them. I tried a gluten-free cider from there called chocka, and that is literally how it is pronounced on the bottle. On the bottle, it's literally pronounced chocka. And a couple of the letters, not one letter, but 2 letters within this word have got those little wanky umlauts. What's an umlaut?
Fucking called?
Is that a Klingon word you've just made up?
German, you tit.
Umlauts. Get me to the umlauts. Oh, I like an umlaut.
Fucking 2 dots above
mein Führer.
Fuck off, move on.
Mein Führer, that looks like an umlaut. Hush your mouth. So anyway, yeah, 2 letters in this word have umlauts.
Go on.
Are you wikiing that, are you?
I'm fucking going to show you it, because I did German for fucking 5 years, and if I'm wrong, I'm going home.
You're going to Google the umlauts. How do you spell umlaut? So anyway, yeah, don't try it, because...
Suck my balls!
It's umlaut. It's a cider that is gluten-free, but gives you massive headaches. Is pretty much where I was going until you derailed me with your goddamn umlauts.
About an hour and a half ago.
Umlauts.
That's what they're called, you
that is an amazing word. I want that word. I'm taking it back.
It's theirs. It's German.
No, they can't have it. I'm having it.
It was never ours.
The umlauts.
Well, that didn't stop the Germans, and never mind.
The umlauts are coming. So yeah, where was I going? You've totally derailed me with your umlauts.
You were talking about cider?
Right, so yeah, cider's brilliant, and we will be going on to the news in a minute. However, we don't have anybody else's shit to put out there and to pimp out, but we have got something to pimp.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, not me, but...
Well, yeah, it's your baby.
Yeah, okay. So, well, as regular listeners, like, the 2 of them will know...
The one guy in Vietnam. There is one guy in Vietnam who... I hope to God, because I sometimes look at the stats, and every episode that we've done for, like, the last 40 episodes, because this is episode 97, by the way, for the last 40 episodes, there's been, like, one download on the stats from Vietnam for every... I hope it's the same guy, and it's not just, like, 12 people sharing an IP address or something like that.
I don't think that's Vietnam.
It is, it's Vietnam.
No, like 12 people sharing an IP address.
Do they not do that?
I don't think so.
Do they just share caves?
No, I don't think they share caves, Kev.
Mud huts?
No, that's Africa.
Jungle?
No, that's
huts?
Bolivia.
I don't know what they have in Vietnam.
Vietnam, okay, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's the same guy.
And he's probably not going to listen to anymore, because we've offended him.
If you're listening, and you do indeed understand what we say, then please let us know on the Twitters. Go to 365 Flicks Podcast on the Twitters and say, I am the guy. And you know what? Just so we definitely know, hashtag umlauts. Okay? So, right, let's talk about your film.
Yeah, have a look for it on Facebook. Type in What You Can't See Film, or just What You Can't See. Mm-hmm. That's the name of the film. like the page and share it like a son of a bitch. There's like updates of when we have updates on what's happening with the film. I also I'm doing a cheeky sort of daily ghosty thing.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm trying it. I'm not one for the social medias, as
You're
you
not,
know.
are you?
I'm trying it.
It comes across.
I'm trying to.
Don't get all pissy with me with your one picture a day.
That's all right, isn't it?
Aye. It's all right for you. It's actually quite good for you.
I know.
I feel like you've turned a corner on the social media.
Well, we've all had a drink. Let's not go nuts. So follow the Facebook page and like it and share it and everything. You will get regular updates on the film as they are available. We are up to the editing phase now. We have a rough cut.
We do, yes.
Or like a first rough cut. There's still a fair way to go.
Yeah.
Probably about another maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long these things take.
I
Maybe
would
another
say
month, reckon?
Another 2 or 3 umlauts.
2, 3 umlauts. Right.
Yeah, we're still a ways off. I would say a couple of months at least.
Yeah.
A month, 2 months.
So, but,
It's a process.
There's no point in rushing it.
It's a process.
And it's a learning curve.
If you're going to do it, you do it right.
The entire thing's been a learning curve. We've never done anything like this before, so it's been pretty goddamn cool. I've learned a lot. I said that to you as we left Slink's house the last editing session. We haven't had an editing session this week. No time.
Because he's doing all the digital stuff, isn't he?
Yes, he's got a lot of
The
faffy bits to do, basically. So it is looking pretty cool. I am very, very pleased with it, and I hope that everybody else will be once we've finished doing our thing.
I think they will. I think you're onto something. Slink is behind the camera is absolutely fantastic. Like when we've been watching the edits and everything, we've been playing around getting things right, and that there's a couple of shots that we've kind of got in that film that I'm sitting there going, shit, that looked fucking great. Like sort of like, wow,
Yeah,
that looked belter. So you're onto something. We're onto something. It's going to look good, and I can't wait to see when it's finished.
Have you decided what your credit's going to be yet?
Well, I have now.
Have you? Right.
Like as of 5 minutes ago.
Head umlaut.
The best umlaut.
You're a wanker.
Minor umlaut.
Prick. Okay, have a look for that on the Facebook.
Yep.
And yeah, as I say, updates as they are available.
One more little bit of business before we go on to the news, because this intro is getting longer than I thought it would be. With the odd derailments. We mentioned on the last episode that the Blackadder spin-off podcast we were going to be doing, which we're still going to do. We are still going to do, Chris. Like, I promise you that will happen. And if we get ahead of ourselves with this new thing, we'll get Blackadder done. But I got sent a picture, a meme sort of thing with an article attached to it about how if starting 2018 in the 1st of January, if you watch every MCU franchise movie right the way through till Avengers Infinity War comes out, you'll see every movie if you watch one a week right the way up to then. So me being a bit of a psychopath with ideas and always just going nuts with things, decided why don't we do a podcast a week about that, and we will watch one movie a week and we will podcast about it, which is a good idea. But then me, again, being a complete psychopath of a man, decided, yeah, we'll do that, but we'll also get guests on to talk about the movies. And yeah, I kind of went nuts with it.
You did.
And it's become a thing, but I'm excited about it.
It does sound pretty goddamn cool, to be fair. I'm up for it. Definitely.
Shall we... Right, what do you think the odds are that we'll finish it?
Well, we'll have to now.
Well, I know, because we've got some pretty damn cool people who've decided they want to do it, so...
The only thing is you'll have to stop being such a pissy bastard and go and see Infinity War in the thing. What was the last Marvel movie you saw in the cinema?
Marvel movie in the cinema would be... Marvel movie in the cinema... Jesus, what the fuck? Ultron? No, I went to see Civil War.
Civil War, then.
Civil War?
Was that last year?
What came after Civil War?
Guardians 2?
I never saw Guardians
No.
2. I've still not seen Thor Ragnarok. Ant-Man?
No,
I didn't see Ant-Man in the cinema either.
War.
Civil War?
Because thing he was in.
Yeah, we'll just
Rudd was in Civil.
We'll go with Civil War. But this does mean that yes, I will need to be going to see Black Panther in the cinema, and yes, I will need to go and see Avengers Infinity Wars in the cinema.
There was a Black Panther trailer before Justice League.
Yeah, it did nothing for me.
Better than Justice League.
All point made. All I will say about the Black Panther trailer was that Michael B. Jordan looks like he's going to absolutely steal that movie from under everyone. Yep. Like, there's a lot of heavyweight actors in that movie, a lot of fantastic talent going on in that movie. Michael B. Jordan is going to be far and away the star of that film. He just looks so badass, so cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I like a bit of Michael B. Jordan anyway, but I'm hoping that for him, as an actor, this is going to be a real turning point for him. Because as good as Creed was, it didn't really do anything for his career.
Is he doing the sequel?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, fair play.
So yeah, that's the crack. We're going to do, starting January the 1st, that is when the first episode is going to drop. It is going to be Iron Man, because we're going to do it. We're not going to do what Aaron said. As much as I like Aaron, I'm not piss-farting about chronologically. Like, you know how you have to, like...
Oh, well, to be fair, the only difference that I can see is Guardians and Guardians 2 are next to each other, but the rest of it is...
Captain America goes first.
Of course it does, yeah. Fuck that. We'll do it in, like, date
order of release. Order of release. That's what we're going to do. Aaron, as much as I
is
thought...
Aaron coming on for one?
He's not said yet because, yeah...
Rude.
It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah. But, I mean, he's got time. There's still some out there. Not very good ones, but there's still some films out there to choose from. Dark World, if you're up for it.
Yeah. Because somebody watched Dark World with us.
Because we are convinced that we're going to be watching that.
I don't think anybody's going to volunteer to watch that, to be fair. We can message Chris Eck.
Who?
Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, he's not coming on.
We could try.
Does he not hate Marvel now?
Oh, yeah. He hates everyone.
Oh, we'll get Chris Eck. I'm not saying Chris Eck. That was crap.
It's a bit wanky, isn't it?
Eccleston.
Eccleston, okay.
Yes.
See, that's the kind of thing I normally tell you off about.
Eccleston or Eccles Cake.
Eccleston.
I'll take either.
So you've taken the wanker trophy back. Well done.
But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Episode 1 is going to drop on Monday, the 1st of January.
It's going to be Big Sexy Dev.
It's going to be Big Sexy Dev with Iron Man. He goes straight in there. He's like, "Come on, kids, let's kick this off. I'll do Iron Man." We've got nobody else for the rest of Phase 1 up until Avengers, and Joe's coming on. Mm-hmm. Joe Keaton from Another Damn Wrestling Show, Dear Podcast.
Dear Diary Podcast.
Dear Diary Podcast. Yeah. I've not listened to it. He's coming on. I have listened to it, by the way, Joe. Don't take that to heart.
Joe's not listening to this.
Yeah, he's not, is he?
No.
He's coming on, and then going forward from there, we have got an absolute just diamond group of people coming on.
Yeah. Well, there's rumours of a certain someone watching Ultron.
Yeah, there's
doesn't
rumours.
Really know it yet, but there's rumours.
He's gonna do it.
He's not gonna.
He's got to do one.
He's not gonna.
He's got to do one. We're bringing back Paul Trotter, who's been on a few shows way back in the day. It's been too long since he was on, and we got something special planned for that episode.
Yes, we do.
So we're gonna do. Paul's coming on to do. Is it Iron Man 3?
Yep.
Which
again, he doesn't know it yet, but
as we all know, I love Iron Man 3. So, Mike Beckenham, the star of Redwood and upcoming Black Site, he has said he will come on for one of the Guardians movies. I think it's Guardians 2. Burton's Bob of Berwick fame.
I know.
He's coming on.
It's YMCA Bob.
Is it not Granary Bob?
Is it Granary Bob?
Granary YHA or YMCA?
YHA?
It's something like that. Burton's Bob.
Burton's Bob.
He'll always be Burton's Bob to me. The man, the myth, the legend. But yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be happening, and we can't wait to get started on that. But you know what? This has gone too long, so why don't we just get into
Let's do it.
The news. The news that I have prepared. So here are the bongs. Bong. Ryan Reynolds.
What of it?
Did you see this today?
No, I've not seen. I've really. I feel like I've hardly bloody even looked on Digital Spy or fucking Den of Geek or anything lately. It's just been busy as hell.
Yeah, it has been. So, Mr. Deadpool himself, Ryan Reynolds, is going to be the voice and provide motion capture for a live-action Detective Pikachu movie. Yeah, I know.
What?
I know, right? Dude is Deadpool. You know, he absolutely lights up the world with Deadpool. Hottest property going around right now, and he follows that up with The Hitman's Bodyguard, which, did you see that with Sam Jack?
No.
Horrendous movie. Absolutely terrible movie. And he's going to follow that piece of shit up with a Detective Pikachu movie.
Is he playing Pikachu?
Yes. He's the voice and the motion capture of Pikachu. Sorry, Detective Pikachu. Which is fine. Anybody who watched Pokemon, the cartoon or whatever like that, he speaks in like Pika. It's always like variations of his name, like Pika and then Choo. In Detective Pikachu, which was a spin-off of the original cartoon, the original games.
Oh, is he speaking like, wah, see?
Yes.
That would be awesome. What, genuinely?
No, he's not like, wah, see? Now then. He's not doing that. But he basically plays Sherlock Holmes as Pikachu. And he speaks...
Dear God.
He speaks properly, and yeah, not looking forward to seeing this. Not going to watch it. Ryan Reynolds, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand.
He's got a pool to put in our tax bill due. Basically, that's what it is.
But I understand that movie, being that it's linked to Pokemon in some way, is going to make money. It's going to make money because the kids are going to go nuts for it. They're going to lose their heads for it.
Did you see all those assholes, including your damn self, playing that fucking Pokemon Go? Was that last year?
Mm-hmm. So I get it. Like you say, he's got bills to pay, but does he really need to be doing Detective Pikachu?
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Just to sort of back him up for a second. If say it was a tax bill, right? And so they've said to him, okay, right, Ryan Reynolds, you are due the tax man in America, whatever he's called in America, Uncle Sam.
I don't know.
Whatever. You're due him $10 million, right? Isn't it better to go, right, instead of emptying my bank account of $10 million, I could do this pile of shite and get $10 million and just give it straight to him.
Yeah.
Makes sense of anything.
And then it's like charity work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, pish.
So, this came out yesterday, and I was bummed about it, but now I'm really happy about it. So, it turns out that Karma has finally caught up on alleged child molester Bryan Singer. Allegedly, don't kill me here. He has been sacked from the Bohemian Rhapsody.
I heard he quit.
No, well,
was he invited to leave?
There's two different stories. Apparently, he took some time off because he had health issues, or those family health issues, or something like that, a couple of months ago.
Right.
And then he came back to finish. But according to Rami Malek, who's playing Freddie Mercury, who, by the way, looks fucking awesome in this.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, he's totally the right guy to be playing that character. But yeah, according to him, they just couldn't get along. Apparently, he just wasn't on set very often, his direction was non-existent, and the cinematographer was basically directing the movie for the week before he sacked, quit, walked away, whatever, asked to leave, invited to go, whatever you want to say. But they said that he was ill and he wanted to go, but then the studio have pretty much said, well, yeah, they wanted rid of him, so they got rid of him, and he's gone. But Dexter Fletcher has taken over on the directing duties for there's only 2 weeks of principal photography left to go.
Is that who I think it was?
Probably the Brit guy.
Him that was in the press gang with Julia Sawala.
Yeah.
Huh.
He is...
I didn't know he was the director.
He directed, and I didn't know this at the time, and I didn't know this till today, but he directed Taron Egerton movie last year, Eddie the Eagle.
Right.
Which was actually a very good film, very British
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, very good. If you get a chance to
watch it. I've thought about watching it.
If you get a chance, watch it. It's a great film. Taron's great in it. Taron's great in everything, apart from Kingsman 2, but we'll get there. But yeah, Dexter Fletcher's taken over. There's only like 2 weeks of principal photography left to go, and then he's going to be doing the editing and all that kind of thing.
He's not doing reshoots, is he?
I don't think so, but well, he probably will. But the word isn't quite known yet if Singer's going to get final directing credit. But I'm assuming it'll be like a Zack Snyder thing, and they'll have to give it to him. If he's made that much of the movie, they have to give him it, don't they?
I did think, funnily enough, that because I'd read the story that he'd quit.
Yeah.
And I did think at the time, because I remembered the alleged stories from a few years ago.
Those stories keep coming up.
I did think when I read that the other day, I thought something's going to come out about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's already kind of come out, that story. It's never got away from him. It's always popping its ugly head up. Even when he was making, what was it, X-Men Apocalypse, the last X-Men movie, it was there then,
right?
So I mean, it's still going to be there. I don't personally think that that's why he's left or whatever, or being quit. I don't think that's the reason. I just don't. This movie has had a troubled production so far anyway. I mean, right at the start, it was Sacha Baron Cohen was going to direct and star as Freddie Mercury. And then he went, and then they got another director. He went, they got another. It's kind of like the Crow reboot.
I really hope it doesn't suck, because I want it to be good, because I fucking love Rami Malek.
Personally, I was a massive, massive Queen fan back in the day. I absolutely love the band Queen.
Who isn't?
I love Freddie Mercury. And when I looked at sort of the people they were banding around at the start, sort of like, Sacha Baron Cohen, I was like, not a chance. I don't want that. When they said Rami Malek, and I haven't watched all of Mr. Robot, but as soon as his name came up, it was like, that's perfect. Like, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
He looks like Freddie anyway.
But have you seen The Pacific?
Yeah, I saw him in that.
He's great in that.
And there was another thing that I saw him in, like, when he was like a wee bit younger, and he was great in that as well. So I'm all for it. I can't wait to see the movie. Not exactly bothered that Bryan Singer's off it.
Meh.
Because if anything nowadays, if I see his name, I'm not really that fussed.
Certainly after Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse. What was that other pile of shit he did? Superman Returns.
It's
Brendan Routh.
I would say, yeah, because Brandon Routh and Kevin Spacey, fuck off. Because of those two performances in there, I think that the movie deserves a little bit more credit than it gets.
Yeah.
But not necessarily because of Bryan Singer.
No.
Because of those guys.
Because that was just him, like, giving himself a hand job, really. He was making the Superman he wanted to make.
That was just him adding in a load of fucking angst and shit. There.
Yeah.
Aye. Next.
So, just a quick one. Apparently Ridley Scott is still refusing to let go of the Alien franchise, and it's definitely going to be more robot-y, because he's getting pissed off at the fan backlash, saying that there's not enough aliens, they want more aliens, they need to be more aliens and face-pulling, so we're going to get more robots.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Do you think he's developing a turkey neck?
A gobble.
And I think his voice is going to go higher.
He's going to be, I'm making alien movies, okay?
You see, Stephen, I can put some Obama in my next alien movie if I want to.
So, just a quick one on Ridley Scott. It was a bit. It's just a quick one on Ridley Scott. Please let this movie go. Give it to Neil Blomkamp. We want to see that movie.
See, I can't really take the piss out of Brugger for impressions, because I just fucking suck.
You just did Mickey Mouse.
I did Mickey Mouse,
Star Trek news. Have you seen this one?
I saw a headline, but I've not had time to read about it.
This is interesting as fuck. I'm on board. Like, big time I'm on board. So, Quentin Tarantino. The Quentin Tarantino. Yes, that Quentin Tarantino.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. He has, he's pitched a Star Trek story, a Star Trek plot to J.J. Abrams, who, as we know, is still sort of like the executive producer or whatever of these movies. Although I'm pretty sure he just ran a mile from the third one. But yeah, he pitched the story to JJ.
Think JJ got like the script or something, and they were like, "You're going to do what with Scotty? You're going to make Scotty jump off a what now?"
In slow mo.
I'm doing Star Wars. Fuck off, mate. I'm doing Star Wars.
So yeah. By the way, I did like Star Trek Beyond, so fuck you. I was in the mood for it when we went to see it.
Kirk is on a motorbike.
Yeah.
In space.
But that's a Chris Pine contractual thing now. Because he did the same thing in Wonder Woman. He got on the motorbike and he did the Steve McQueen across the fields.
Yes, World War One. That's Earth. World War fucking One. This isn't bastard space. Don't.
Space Wars.
Right, Quentin Tarantino, Star Trek,
so,
go.
Quentin Tarantino has pitched a story and a plot line to J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is hugely into the story. He really likes it, thinks it's very interesting, and he's all for it.
But he's making episode 9, isn't he?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. Paramount Pictures. This is where I think the water's going to get muddied. Because obviously it's Paramount Pictures, and obviously it's Star Trek. It's, Star Trek, it's a big, big thing alongside Star Wars, and they've got their people behind it. They've got their fact checkers and whatnot. They've got all those nerds in the background. Paramount are now planning to have a writer's room come together to go over the Tarantino story with Quentin Tarantino, with the intentions of Tarantino possibly directing the movie, which I just love.
Fuck yeah.
Come on, man. Like, Star Trek with Tarantino at the helm.
Get along with Spock and Kirk going, say what again? Say what again?
It would be amazing. Like, I'm so interested in this. It sounds just batshit nonsense crazy.
I'm up for that.
But I love
Fuck
it.
yeah.
But the thing is, like, Tarantino having a writer's room going over a script doesn't sound like something he's going to be really that happy with.
No, but I would say, even get like Simon Pegg involved with that, and Tarantino's script with a dose of fucking shooting in that.
Aye.
And a dose of Gleeplops getting their ears cut off. And
I'm going to call it now. I'm calling it now, by the way. We are going to get, in Tarantino's Star Trek, Samuel L. Jackson is playing Worf.
Oh, shit. No, Michael Dorn. Samuel L. Jackson is Michael Dorn's dad.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
Done.
They
might look the same age now. I've not seen Michael Dorn in a while, but
we're gonna have Uhura running around in a yellow jumpsuit with the sword and everything. Honestly, man,
I'm up for that. Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm genuinely excited to see
anything that doesn't have Justin Lin near it. I'm fine.
I'll give you that. I want Justin Lin back on Fast and Furious anyway. The only thing is we're kind of wondering, as you said before, how much input JJ is really going to have into this, because he is on Star Trek 9, so he can't exactly...
Star Wars 9,
sorry. Shit. Fucking can't get my Wars and my Trek messed up.
See if I could do a Steve Sadak. Ma'am, get over here!
So yeah,
he said no. I can't do it. It's not going to happen.
So obviously JJ is not going to have that much influence in it, but the thought of, right, just imagine this for a second. We've said since Batman, I'm mixing everything up now. We've said since Star Trek Beyond, Simon Pegg and JJ working together.
Yes,
is it would be a dream.
Yes,
because it's two massive nerds who know everything they need to know about what they're writing about, and it would be great. It'd be fantastic. And like you say, take away Justin Lin, but you insert Quentin Tarantino directing a movie that potentially he's written with Simon Pegg and JJ.
Fuck yeah.
I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm in Nirvana. I'm absolutely in Nirvana there. That's 3, because Tarantino's a massive fucking nerd as well.
Imagine they did that with the Klingon War that Star Trek Beyond should have fucking been.
The Klingon War and the Borg and some Ferengi.
Klingon Borg.
Will Smith is a Ferengi. He's got the lugs.
Fuck that.
He's got the lugs.
Fuck that.
No? Okay. So yeah, more news on that as it happens.
Sounds good.
I really hope this isn't just one of these things that it's like, you know what, it's getting banded around and nothing's ever going to come of it. I would love to see a Star Trek with these guys at the helm. I would love to see it. Just Tarantino making a Star Trek movie. I never thought I would ever hear that. The only thing that's better than that is Tarantino making a Star Wars movie. Because that would be like a Lando movie with Tarantino at the helm. Of course, it would just end up being Django Unchained, so it'd be like Lando Unchained.
Fuck's sake.
No? I'd watch Lando Unchained.
Lando Unchained.
I'd watch it. So yeah, I've got some Fangirls music news for you.
You're a piping hot mess at the minute.
I am, yeah. I've got
What's the matter with you?
Let me start again. I've got some Fangirls news for you.
Fangirls.
So you know we're big fans of Fanboys. Like
is it a sequel to Fanboys?
It's not, but it sort of is like a spiritual sister to it.
Okay.
So there's a new movie coming out called Please Stand By. It's coming out next year with Dakota Fanning, of all people, making a bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
It's an indie comedy, and it's basically about a young autistic girl. Well, not young, because Dakota Fanning's not that young anymore. But it's about Dakota Fanning as an autistic. She's an autistic girl who's going to travel the country to get to Hollywood so that she can pitch a Star Trek script to the boardroom and get it made.
It does sound the spirit of fanboys,
isn't it?
Very much so.
I read it and I'm like, yes, I'm watching that.
Cheeky indie talk.
Definitely. It sounds brilliant. I don't know a massive great deal about it apart from Paton Oswalt is also going to be in it.
Yeah,
Little
like
fat
him.
Paton Oswalt, he's going to be in it.
Little fat Paton Oswalt. Well, that's the indie talk fucked, isn't it?
So yeah, I'm really more news on this as I get it. It was literally just a tiny little snippet.
So you're sexist in that bit and you're fat shaming.
Edited. But yeah, can't wait to see what happens with this.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It
Yeah,
very much
fucking
sounds
right.
like a fangirls movie, so I'm all up for it. So yeah, Game of Thrones.
Yep. Not until 2019.
According to Santa. According to
Wasn't that already a thing though? Hasn't that been a thing for a while?
I thought it was late 2018. I thought it
No,
was late on, but I didn't think it was going to be 2019.
I'm sure they said that a few weeks ago.
Did they?
That it wasn't coming out till middle of 2019.
I thought it was going to be near
No,
the end.
Honestly, I'm sure that was already a thing.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Yeah.
Because now
Well, it's not.
not everybody's going to be depressed. Just like me, who didn't know. But yeah, Sansa, aka Sophie Turner, she has pretty much said in an interview, I think it was like for Variety or Vanity Fair or one of those pishy fucking American magazines. Yeah, it's not coming till 2019 because the guy said, "Are you looking forward to Game of Thrones in 2018?" And she said, 2019, batch. That's what she said to him.
But like sounding more ginger.
Wow. You're thinking of me for being fat shaming and sexist, and you're being gingerist.
That's acceptable.
And we have ginger friends. A ginger friend.
Who?
Mark.
Oh, but he's gone bald, so
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
He's more Phil Mitchell than Ginger Mitchell. So yeah, Game of Thrones is 2019.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Adam Sandler. Now, you know we love some Adam Sandler. Did you know that Adam Sandler is not a fan of the critics?
I didn't really care.
I didn't know, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Apparently, since Billy Madison came out, Adam Sandler hasn't read very many reviews of his movies for years.
That's probably a good thing. He would have topped himself by now.
Exactly. I read it and I was like, oh, poor Adam. No, actually, no. It's probably a good thing that you didn't, mate. Just a quick little thing. Alongside, how do you say his name? Joaquin Phoenix? Joaquin Phoenix? Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, he's playing Jesus.
Yeah, I saw a trailer on, I think it was the YouTubes.
A Mary fucking Magdalene movie. Because that's needed. The only thing that could have made that better for me is if I read further and it was Mel Gibson directing. Like, I would have been well up for that. I'd have been like, right, he made the Jesus movie, let's watch some Mary Magdalene, because you know he would have fucking destroyed her. Like, tortured.
Oh, right, I thought you meant a different kind of destroyed. Right.
But isn't that perfect casting? Mr. Phoenix playing Jesus.
Yeah, well, I don't know, like Jim Caviezel or
Caviezel.
that one.
Yep. For a while, though.
He was pretty good at getting whipped to death.
For a while, though, Phoenix did think he was Jesus. Like, literally.
No, he's got a hair lip.
Yeah, you can't have that. So, one for you. Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
David S. Goyer.
Yes.
Writing and directing.
Fuck yes.
Who's going to play Dolph Lundgren?
With The Rock, obviously.
Does he not have to be, like, really white and blonde?
Racist.
Is he not?
Well, no, not necessarily.
Dolph Lundgren was.
2017.
I suppose it is 2017. So, Will Smith?
No, fuck him. Stupid lugs.
He's too busy. He's too busy.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I cannot wait for this. I know that people fucking despise the Dolph Lundgren one, but fuck them.
Courtney Cox was in it as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, and Tom Paris was in
So
it.
who's going to play Courtney Cox?
Courtney Cox can stop with that.
So to be
Cameo.
full disclosure to everybody, I am calling him Dolph Lundgren and I'm calling her Courtney Cox. I don't know about Masters of the Universe. It's never been a big thing for me. I know you do.
Yeah,
but for me,
I grew up watching that. So.
I've seen it once, and all I
Did you
remembered...
ever watch like the cartoon though?
No. I was too busy watching like Thundercats and like Samurai Pizza Cats. That was my thing. No?
Masters of the Universe is better.
Is it?
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Right. So who is in Masters of the Universe? Who did Dolph Lundgren play?
He-Man.
Right. That makes sense.
Stupid idiot.
Okay, so who's going to play He-Man?
I don't know. The Rock.
Come on, just name someone. Who do
Triple
you think?
H. Done. Move on.
That's
Next.
a good one. That's a good one. But yeah, Masters of the Universe is apparently coming, and I knew Chris would be excited about that, so I added it in.
I'm buzzing for that. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait for it. As long as they have Battle Cat in it.
Who's going to play Battle Cat?
The same guy that was in the Jungle Book remake.
Who?
I don't fucking know. Oh, Ben Kingsley played...
Andy Serkis.
Ben Kingsley played the voice of Bagheera.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool in the Jungle Book movie. But yeah, Andy Serkis. Battle Cat.
So while you're on...
Or Andy Serkis, Orko.
Orko? Who's Orko?
Orko, the little floating magician...
Okay.
Tent fella.
I like that. Oh, is that the thing with the green eyes?
Yeah, he wears some... He's
got like a purple cape.
He was like really shit at magic. And he like floated in that.
Right. No. I'm not with you there. Okay. It's okay though. Okay. It's okay. Everybody's got their own thing. So last little bit of news, because it's kind of pissing me off, this whole thing. Disney apparently are back in talks to buy Fox.
Yeah.
Because if you won't give Marvel the characters back, we're gonna fucking buy you. Is basically what Disney are trying to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's really, really, really pissing me off. I'm getting annoyed with this.
I couldn't really give a fuck, to be honest with you. I'm not really bothered. Like
Fox,
whatever.
Fox are trying to play it off as, we're wanting to move more into like sports and commentary, shit like that. This is what they're trying to say, but really they're just being fucking steamrolled by Disney,
because they keep fucking up X-Men movies, and the only sort of
let them fuck it up.
No, don't let them fuck it up.
Let them fuck it up.
They fucked up X-Men and they fucked up Fantastic Four. Now, I'm not a big fan of either, because, well, look at the fucking movies we've been given. Deadpool, fine. Whatever.
Sony.
But, yeah.
Sony, innit?
No,
it is Fox. Yeah, aye, because that's why they couldn't have the characters. Yeah.
Silly sausage. But, I don't care. I do care. I
do care. I do care. Like when I look at the landscape of cinema and everything like that, right now, Disney's just buying up everything. They're just buying everything. And I don't like it. I do not like it. I don't want one company like Disney. I don't like the fact that they have Marvel and Star Wars. I hate that. I cannot stand that.
Why?
But it's a...
Why though?
Because it's not fair.
But... So fuck, we're getting Star Wars movies again. We're getting, solid...
Yeah, but Lucasfilm could have done the Star Wars
movies.
No,
they couldn't.
No, not with Turkey Neck at the helm. Like, he could have got other people to do them.
No, they couldn't.
Why should Disney be doing everything?
Because they didn't have the money to do that. Lucasfilm didn't have the money to do that on their own, so they needed a studio to do it. So who gives a fuck if Disney are doing it? Disney are giving them the money. Disney are giving Lucasfilm the money to make Star Wars movies. No. So what if it's owned by Disney overall? Who gives a fuck?
I don't like it.
Well, you're wrong.
I find it very upsetting that one company is trying to have the monopoly over everything. I don't like it.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go, Disney. Kevin Alden has spoken. so I think, have a word in the mirror.
And leave Fox alone.
To fuck up more X-Men movies.
But do you not... Does it not... I know, okay, it doesn't bother you, but does it not, everything's going to be owned by Disney soon?
Doesn't bother me.
Why?
Because...
How not?
Well... Because why? There's more. There's better things to get worked up about than that. We're getting Star Wars movies. We're getting Marvel movies, and if this thing goes ahead, then okay, there's more characters for for future Marvel movies. So fuck. But then, who cares? Who gives a shit?
But then why not just let Marvel let Marvel do the talking so that we can have our characters back? Why not do that instead of buying the whole fucking company just because you want them?
Well, I mean, they could have granted, they could have done a thing like what they've done with Sony, where
Exactly.
they negotiated to get Spider-Man into the MCU.
But the problem with that is Disney isn't going to make fuck all from Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Pascal
Spider-Man
Pictures.
is Spider-Man is the Marvel character. Spider-Man is Marvel's Batman. So I suppose they could have kept on going without him easily. They could have, like Black Panther was going to be that sort of.
They've proven that. They've proven that they could have done it.
But, so they could have negotiated with Fox to do that, to bring X-Men into the MCU and whatever, and then the Fantastic Four into the MCU. But, well, we don't know what's happened in the talks. I'm assuming that they have tried to do that.
It's just easier to buy them, mate. We're just going to buy them all up.
I really couldn't give two fucks.
Well, I think you really need to give a fuck.
Why?
Because I think you do.
Why?
It's people coming in.
Why?
Okay.
No, you just asked me why I don't give a fuck. So I'm asking you.
No, I'm just saying.
Why should I give a fuck?
I'm saying surely you should give a fuck.
Why though?
A little bit of a fuck.
But why?
Because it's not right.
No, I'm going to need more than that. Why is it not right?
Because it's not right. It's like when the Germans, right, decided they wanted the whole world, right, and everybody fought against them because it wasn't fair. Now Disney wants the whole movie world. People should be fighting back.
Yeah, that's exactly the same.
It's not at all.
That's exactly the same.
I realised in the middle of saying that this sounded really bad.
But you've started this analogy now. You're committed to it.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
It's like when Joel asked that question the other day about if you had to give up fries or bacon for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? And
what? Where? What?
And it was on Facebook. He was like, if you had to give up fries or bacon, which one would you give up? And I was kind of like, this is going to take a minute. Because like we call fries chips over here, but we also have fries over here. So if I give up fries, am I also giving up chips? And if I'm giving up chips, can I not have baked potatoes?
But if you said if I give up, can I keep chips? They would have thought you meant crisps.
I asked that, and I did explain the fact that I'm a Brit, and that chips over here are chips, not crisps, because they took our language and bastardised it.
Well, yeah.
So I explained.
Was there any need for that?
What?
Like to change chips to crisps? Just keep them crisps, you awkward fucks.
Not at all.
That's just overcomplicating it for the sake of overcomplicating it.
Crisps don't even look like chips. And they're barely made from potatoes. So yeah. So I asked him the question, and he was like, Kev, you're thinking way too much about this. And I'm like, no. I said, no, I'm not thinking way too much about this.
I just shared the meme. I don't care.
that was the impression I got. He was just sat there going, oh, Kev, fuck your mother. So yeah, that was the news. Chris isn't bothered about Disney ruling the world. So what we're going to go on to next.
Are you looking forward to the Justice... No, that's not right. Jurassic World 2 trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer. Is it coming tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Friday.
I saw the featurette thing today with the kid that I really like on Vine. He makes Vine videos, and they're fantastic videos. Like, he does really quick edits.
Okay.
And the edits are really good.
What's Vine?
Wow. How do you explain Vine to someone who doesn't know what Vine is? It's like 7-second videos.
Oh, fuck that shit. Move on.
What you been watching? Let's get on to that, because this episode's died on its ass. So
I don't think it is.
I'll play a cheeky little promo and we'll get into that.
If you like listening to this podcast, then I guarantee you're going to love Thinking Outside the Long Box and our scintillating interviews with pop culture celebrities.
I have a responsibility, not just to my son, but to everyone I meet, to let you see this is what you can do. This is what you can have. Look at how different I am. My God, look at all these people here. Can I be more different? Jesus Christ. But it doesn't stop me, so why should it stop you?
Our discussions on the classics of pop culture literature and movies.
This version of Night of the Living Dead, I regard personally as my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, really?
I can trace it back to that movie for my love for movies and entertainment.
And of course, our intelligent discussion on all things pop culture. Passively reading the comic book. That's good. Here, I'll put it close to the mic. Oh, listen to me flip the pages passively. Yes. And then, so this is aggressive comic book reading. Oh, man, yes! It's so good! It's like that. Wow. Well, maybe not so intelligent. To listen to us, search for Thinking Outside the Long Box at iTunes or Stitcher, or find us at www.totlb.com. Now back to your super interesting show.
So yeah, Chris, this is your baby, so I'll let you take the lead on what... No, it's not. This is our baby. So yeah.
What is the matter with you tonight?
I don't know. It's because it's been so long.
It has been a while.
And the sight has gone totally to my head. Totally.
Although, to be fair, it was already there, like,
that lovely,
after the first sip.
That lovely hard cider, crisp apple, gluten-free, Angry Orchard. Checks in the mail. So come on then. Right. What you been watching, Chris?
Okay.
I ain't got much, so you can start.
Okay. All right. Right. Well, okay. First one. I watched this on Sky Movies. It is a film starring Chris Johnson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes. He is coming on one of the Avengers episodes.
I very much hope he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Maybe.
So the film is Undercover Hooligan.
Nice.
It's called. All right. So it's set in London.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris plays a character called Michael Clark,
Sounds like a proper geezer.
who is a policeman,
Oh, so he's not a proper geezer.
and he goes undercover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a sort of Departed type vibe. So he gets locked up and then he goes undercover into the gang.
As a hooligan.
Yeah, because he's an undercover hooligan.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the tin.
Exactly. Yeah. So and then it kind of goes into like a sort of sex trafficking type story and all that kind of thing. It's really, really fucking good.
Does he go in too deep?
He doesn't know what side he's on at one point.
Does he not know what side he's on? Sorry, it's always going to come back to that. Chris, if you're listening, I'm sorry. It's always going to
That's
come
a
back
touch
to
of cloth. If anybody's
yeah.
not, if anybody hasn't seen Touch of Cloth, get yourself.
It's probably the
get
funniest
yourself
thing
sorted out
ever.
and watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
John Hannah and Saran
Jones?
Jones.
Susan Sarandon? Saran Jones.
Saran Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris is a badass son of a bitch.
You know what? When we went to see Black Site and we spent the day on the set, because we did that, by the way, when that happened, he didn't do a great deal of, like, action, but he did some badass acting.
Yeah.
Using the eyes and being, like, a total fucking actor, you know? But I did get the impression, watching that, and then our little interview with him around the corner and that yeah, this guy's got some, he's got a bit of a streak in him. He's going to be awesome. And
there's a moment, as I said, it touches on sex trafficking. But there's a moment where the wrong'un in the film, he's called Gavin, I think it is, if I remember right. It is a couple of weeks ago since I watched it. I think it's called Gavin, and he's like sort of the boss's son type thing. And they're the like latest sort of group of women have just arrived in a one of those
containers.
Yes.
Shipping containers.
Thank you. That's the one.
So I'm getting it back. I'm getting it back.
So yeah, they're sort of sat having a drink, and the guy who's a bastard just starts delivering this monologue of how he fucked them and all that kind of thing, and it's like that's a cracking bit of acting, and he's a sinister fucker. I hate him, and Chris's character just grabs a bottle and smashes it over the guy's head.
Good man.
It's fucking great. Fucking awesome. And I think everybody should go and watch it. It's really good. It's on Sky Movies or Sky Cinema. There's a scene towards the end of the movie. You'll never look at a power washer the same again.
Up his ass? Nose?
No.
Where else can I go?
Spoilers.
Okay. No worries.
And
Up his willy?
And he's dinkle.
Up his willy?
No, I'm not making that
Up his Peter Dinklage?
No, and he's...
That's a verb. Up his Peter Dinklage. Right, okay.
Anyway, yeah.
So
yeah, Undercover Hooligan, great.
I'm going to
Really
check that
enjoyed
one
it,
out.
really
I'm going to check
enjoyed
that one out. So from Undercover Hooligan, which is about geezers and coppers and sex traffickers, I watched The Foreigner, which has nothing to do with geezers and sex traffickers, but this is Jackie Chan.
All right. Oh, yeah, okay.
So
yeah.
let's be honest, Jackie Chan hasn't made a good movie since, I don't know, Rush Hour 1. So it's been a long time.
Are they making a Rush Hour 4?
Yeah, apparently that's the thing. With the actual Chris Tucker, which I still can't believe he even acts anymore. But yeah.
Was it Chris Tucker who was in
Be careful now.
Fifth Element?
Yeah, it was.
Aye.
Because, you know, a lot of people think Chris Tucker's Chris Rock.
Yeah, I always get confused between the two.
I still don't get that. I remember way back in like the 90s when Chris Tucker and Chris Rock were both, you know.
Because they both called Chris, and I'm called Chris. So that's, that, you know, we all look the same.
Fuck. Back in the 90s when they were like sort of flying high, there were talks a while that there was going to be a Chris Tucker and Chris Rock movie where they literally swap places because they kept getting mistaken for each other.
And our deck.
Yeah, it was meant to be like a meta commentary on the fact that people couldn't get these two black men right, but it never happened, thank fuck.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
But yeah, Jackie Chan in the movie The Foreigner, it's kind of like taking sort of Liam Neeson type movies right now, but really good. Like, it's actually a really good movie. Jackie Chan is he's an immigrant who's living in London, but he's like he's been over here since like the 80s, so he's got like a British citizenship and all that. So technically he's not an immigrant anymore. And there's a bombing in London because that's all the rage, and his wife and kid die. So he gets all boiling about that. He gets hurt in the accident and all that. Pierce Brosnan, who again I've not seen do anything that good for a while, probably since GoldenEye.
Yeah.
But he plays like...
It's a little bit harsh, maybe.
It is a little bit. He plays like the Deputy Prime Minister, who's also Irish and has connections with the IRA.
The IRA.
The IRA from back in the day. Like, he's still got the IRA connections. Jackie Chan's like, you used to be connected to the IRA, you bombed my family. And he's like, no, I fucking didn't. That was Sinn Féin. He doesn't say. I was Jerry Adams.
That's good. I hate you.
So yeah, basically Jackie Chan's like, you know who the bombers are. Tell me who the bombers are. I'm going to kill the bombers. And Pierce Brosnan is actually slightly a little bit connected to them, so he's not going to tell him. And then it becomes a little bit of like Jackie Chan fucking with Pierce Brosnan, Pierce Brosnan fucking with Jackie Chan. Really good film. I think everybody should give it a watch. Jackie Chan on top form. Literally, like, I've not seen him do some of these moves since like Rumble in the Jungle. Is it Rumble in the Bronx?
Rumble in
the
Jungle
Bronx
was Muhammad Ali, wasn't it?
Same thing. But Rumble in the Bronx, maybe that was one of Jackie Chan's movies. I've not seen him go like this for a while. He's brilliant in this movie, and Pierce Brosnan is a menacing bastard when he wants to be. And like I say, just hearing Pierce Brosnan do an actual Irish accent it is great. Because he is Irish, isn't he?
No.
Yeah, he is Irish. Yeah, maybe he is English and just does a great Irish accent.
I don't know.
But yeah, so good movie. Everybody check it out. If you like Taken and those type of movies, this will be right up your street.
Okay, good. I'll check that out. I did see a trailer for it a wee while back, and I thought that actually looks alright.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just when he sort of like, because obviously Jackie Chan's got like a bit of a history that you don't really ever find out the full thing, but he's got a history behind him. So he's got a particular set of skills.
Oh.
And he uses them.
Right.
So it's good. I really enjoyed the film. I was actually very surprised by it. So yeah.
Good.
I just thought I was going to get some punchy, kicky Jackie Chan stuff.
See, I was always more of a fan of Jet Li.
I like Jet Li. I like Jet Li.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch like when Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung were sort of like coming into the big time? They were doing like Police Story and all that. Mostly like the Japanese exploits and that. Really good films. The two of them were funny as shit when they wanted to be, but they could both kick ass. And Sammo Hung was a big fucking guy.
The only Jackie Chan film I can remember, like before he went to Hollywood, he couldn't remember what his name was.
Who am I?
Is that what it was?
When he stands on the top of the thing, he goes,
Aye.
Who am I?
And it's like, what are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Then he got locked in a sunbed.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Next one.
Matter. Right,
Next
okay.
one. What else you got?
Right. Now, are you ready for this?
Yes.
I have watched an Adam Sandler movie.
No.
And
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Is this the one he's getting all the applause for?
It's called the Meyerowitz
He's the
stories.
Meyerowitz.
Meyerowitz stories. So it stars Dustin Hoffman,
Yep.
Emma Thompson,
Yep.
Adam Sandler,
Yep.
Ben Stiller.
Yep.
It's on Netflix.
What's Ben Stiller like?
He's really good.
Is he Ben Stiller, or is he like Ben Stiller doing something?
Ben Stiller doing something.
Great.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Good.
It's great. It's Adam Sandler. You know, I can't be doing with him, as you know, right? But this, he was still funny, but it was like Adam Sandler understated funny.
Sort of like Punch Drunk Love.
So, I never saw Punch Drunk Love, but like sort of little sort of, you know, like understated comedy.
I know what you
like
mean.
little cheeky one-liners, not like fucking that piece of shit bloody. What was it? Stupid Six or something like Ridiculous Six. Yeah, there was actual. So Dustin Hoffman plays Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler's dad.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
He's an artist who has never. He thinks he's bigger than he actually is.
Okay.
Sounds
like Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. Ooh. Commentary. Similar. Right, so he plays their dad. Emma Thompson is Dustin Hoffman's new wife.
Cool. I like it.
She's great as well.
I like
She's
it.
really, really good. So Ben Stiller is like the successful one that moved away from moved away from them all, moved away into the city, hardly ever sees them. You know, kind of by the numbers.
He's turned
character.
into a prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler is the one who his character kind of he was shaping up to be like a talented musician.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was going to be a pianist. But he kind of gave it up. You know, he was married, but it was a shit marriage and all that kind of thing. But the only good thing that came out of it is they had a daughter, and as the movie opens up, it's the daughter going away to college.
Okay.
Right. So and yeah, so the first scene, it's like different stories, obviously, because it's called the Meyerowitz stories.
I get it.
Yeah. So the first bit is it's the day that the daughter goes away to college, and they're going for dinner, and there's actually a nice, heartfelt, you know, moment in an Adam Sandler film where he's playing the piano with his daughter, and they're singing a song. But it's like a funny song.
Yeah.
So I was laughing at it, but it's nice and heartfelt, and it was like, this is, do more of this, you prick.
He does.
Does he?
He does, just never often enough, because Punch Drunk Love, like I just said before, he is phenomenal in that movie, and it's, like you say, it's the understated humour that he does.
Yeah.
It's not so much the slapstick, in-your-face humour, it's the quirks, the little mannerisms he has that make you laugh, and you're unintentionally laughing because you're not meant to, but it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And he does heartfelt shit in that film. I think you need to watch Punch Drunk Love.
Is that got what's her name in it?
It's got that British lass who I never remember. Is it a British lass? I think it is. I can never remember her name though.
Yeah, I've never seen it, because most of the time I think Adam Sandler. No, I'm not watching it.
Honestly, give it a go.
I saw Dustin Hoffman. I saw Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
You know, who I fucking love Emma Thompson.
It's enough to watch it alone, seeing Dustin Hoffman. So
Dustin Hoffman is fucking great in it, and he kind of he loves his sons, but he doesn't tell them.
yeah,
You know, that kind of thing. And there's a really, really funny moment where Ben Stiller and him are in a cafe, and there's a rude guy at the table next to them.
yeah.
And so the guy has put his wine glass down on their table, and then he puts his hat down on their table as well. And Dustin Hoffman like leans over to Ben Stiller and he goes, "I'm going to punch him in the nose." And it's just great. It's really, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a weird experience for me enjoying an Adam Sandler movie. But everybody's fantastic in it, and it's a great little movie. It really is.
If it makes you feel any better, everybody's loving that movie. Sandler is tipped for an Oscar for that movie.
Right.
He's very highly tipped for it. That was the one that at Cannes he was getting all the praise. Like everybody was talking about his performance in that movie, so everybody's loving it. I haven't watched it yet. I wasn't intending to because I saw the cover. Like, you know, when you flick through Netflix and I saw the cover, I was like, nah.
It is really good. Honestly, I promise you, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll see. Yeah. Kingsman 2.
So I've not seen this yet.
This hurts.
We were going to see it the first night we went to Cincy because it was like it was opening night, wasn't it?
Glad we didn't.
That Thursday was opening night.
Yeah,
I believe. Not good.
It's not that it's not good. It is reasonably good, but it's trying so hard to be the first one. And I think the thing about the first one is that I've said before on the podcast, and I've said before to other friends, that I stayed away from Kingsman. For the longest time I stayed away because I saw Colin Firth and I thought,
same here.
I just thought a cheap James Bond knockoff of Colin Firth. Really couldn't give two shits about that movie, even though I knew Matthew Vaughn had directed. But in my head, it's like, oh, he's fallen from grace, because I like Matthew Vaughn. But I sat down and watched Kingsman. I was absolutely blown away by it. Just think it's one of the best films. It's so fucking good for a spy movie. Taron Egerton is just spot on in that movie. This film wishes so hard that it was Kingsman 1, and it just isn't. It never quite gets there. For me, sitting down, when I sat down to watch it, I wanted the church scene. I wanted the feeling that I got from the church scene anywhere in that movie. Like, it didn't have to be the start, it didn't have to be the end, just anywhere in that movie, I wanted the feeling of the church scene. You know, when you watch something and you go, the fuck just happened there?
Yeah, definitely.
And you just like, because that scene starts and you've got no real clue of what's coming. It just sort of kicks in, and then it happens, and you're like, holy fucking cock knuckles, you know? Like,
it was very much like, you know, that scene starts with because it's like one of those Westboro Baptist Church type things, and Colin Firth gets up and he goes, I'm going to meet my gay black Catholic lover or something like that. And it's like, fucking awesome line. I love that shit. And then it kicks in. It's like, wow!
It's special. It's a very, very, even though it's a very violent moment in the movie, it's a very special moment because I had no idea it was going to happen.
Yeah.
It just happened.
And it was Colin Firth.
And it was Colin Firth?
Where the fuck did that come
Exactly. Whereas in this movie, I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for something. You get very close. They recreate the bar scene again. Twice.
The manners maketh the man.
Yep.
Shit,
they recreate that. It is quite clever how they do it though, because you've seen the trailers.
Yeah.
Spoilers to anybody who's not seen the trailers. Colin Firth's back in this one as well.
That pissed me off about the trailers, actually.
Yeah, they should never have shown that, because
I don't know why they did that. It's
a really good moment in the movie. Well, it would be a really good moment when they reveal him, but you kind of sat there and you're like, yeah, I know what's coming here. I know precisely what moment in this movie we're getting that reveal, and you get it, and it's like, nah, it's just a bit shit.
I was ready to get tangent. I was ready to get pissed off with the Avengers Infinity War trailer for showing us the bit where Vision gets the stone taken out. Well, I assume it's getting the stone taken out, but then it's like, of course he's getting the fucking stone taken out. That's not a spoiler.
I don't think
it's
it is.
got to happen.
I don't think it's a spoiler now.
But
it does.
I kind of thought, well, don't show us that. What are you showing us that for?
I think the reason they, personally for me, I think Hawkeye's going to die in the Avengers.
Nah, no chance.
I think he is, and I think that's the reason why Hawkeye, you don't see him at all in the trailer. You never see him in the trailer, but I think they've shown you that happening in Vision, so it's a bit of a misdirect. It's like, yeah, you're not going to think about it, and then Hawkeye's going to die. I mean, they fucking based Civil War on Hawkeye, and they just shouldn't have done that. No, not Civil War, Ultron.
Ultron.
Aye.
Yeah.
They totally based that movie on him.
Yeah.
And they should never have did that. Because that is the wankiest bit of the movie.
There's moments in it.
Oh, let's go to my little farm in the
Tony
fucking
Stark
country.
and Cap.
They could have done that.
speaking.
They could have done that without all that wankiness.
Oh yeah, agreed. Yeah. Sorry, Kingsman.
So yeah, Kingsman. It is actually, it's a good movie. There's moments there. It's just trying so hard to be Kingsman 1, and it doesn't get there. Julianne Moore is fucking excellent in it. Jeff Bridges is Jeff Bridges. He's doing that True Grit voice again though.
Right.
No, he had the True Grit voice, which then went into R.I.P.D. voice. And he's like, and he's just sitting there going, what the fuck are you saying? What the fuck are you trying to say? He does that, like, a lot. So you spend most of the time going, I don't know what Jeff Bridges is saying.
Should put subtitles on.
You sit there and you're kind of like, I'm sure this is exposition, but I've got no fucking clue. Channing Tatum, like, spoilers to anybody who is dying to see Channing Tatum in this movie, he's barely in it, which is fucking stupid. Because he's in all the trailers, he's on the box, his name's at the top.
Going to be like one of the main characters.
So did I. When he comes into it, you're like, yay, Channing Tatum, woo! Where did Channing Tatum go?
Oh.
And then he does come back, and you're like, oh, whatever. But he's barely in it.
Oh.
The guy who played Oberyn in Game of Thrones, Oberyn Martell, the Sand Snake, he's phenomenal.
He was in The Great Wall.
Right.
With Matt Damon.
Yep.
And he was brilliant in that. Best part of that movie.
In this, he's fantastic. He totally makes the movie. Like I say, they recreate the bar scene. So Harry comes back, and they're recreating the bar scene where, like, this guy's like, what are you bunch of faggots doing in our bar? And it's like, Harry walks away, but then he goes, manners maketh the man. And he, like, flicks a thing. But, of course, he's just come back to sort of, like, remembering who he is and that. So he flings the glass the same way he does in the first movie, but it completely misses its target, and Oberyn catches it. And then he's like, well, are we going to stand out here all day? And then they all start battering Harry. Harry gets totally licked. And then Oberyn comes up, and he's like, he said, manners maketh the man. Let me translate. And he gets the lasso out and starts fighting them. And I was like, it's a different take, but he's just fucking recreating the same fucking scene.
Yeah.
Which they do a lot. Sean from This Is England, he's in it.
The one with the...
Yep, Thomas Turgus. He has a nice little small role. He's very good in it. Elton John.
What? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. My biggest peeve of this movie.
Elton John?
Elton John is all through this movie.
Why?
I have no fucking clue.
Playing himself?
Plays Elton John. I have no clue why Elton John is in this movie.
Did no one go, Elton John, what you doing here in the Kingsman shop? It's mental.
There's almost a scene where...
Oh, did they break the fourth wall?
There's almost a scene where Elton's kind of in the dark, and then the light comes down on him, and he's sat at a piano, because it's fucking Elton John, he's got the glasses on. And one of the henchmen turns around to Julianne Moore and goes, I can't believe you have Elton John here. And I was sitting there going... Neither can I. What are you doing? Like, why is Elton John in this movie? And he's odd in the movie. It is the strangest cast choice I've ever seen.
Piss up with Jeff.
Yeah, I'm glad we did. I recommend, if you like the first movie, go and see it, but don't expect anything massive out of it.
I'll watch it when it comes to Netflix or wherever. I'm not bloody rushing out to see that. Well, I suppose not in this... Anyway.
It's just not great. It's not great. Julianne Moore is great in it, though.
She has in most things, to be fair.
Just not Clarice Starling. She was terrible in that.
No, she wasn't.
What else you got?
Well, one more film to talk about.
Cool.
It's a film starring Sean Bean.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Does he die in it?
No. Spoilers.
Wow.
Spoilers, fuck's sake.
We shouldn't have said it.
Does he? No, he doesn't.
Does he?
Right, the film's called Drone.
Yes, I've seen this. I've not seen it, but I've seen all of it.
So, Sean Bean plays a drone pilot.
Yep.
He's doing an American accent. That's the first sort of kind of problem with the movie.
Is that why he doesn't die?
Sean Bean's doing it because he's playing an American.
Because he's American in it? Maybe it's only when he plays a Brit?
Maybe, possibly. Could be.
Because if you're playing an American, you can't be a villain.
Well, right, this is a weird little film. I couldn't stop watching it.
Okay.
Right.
That's how films work.
It's, well, no, it isn't. Not all the time. So, couldn't stop watching it. It's quite a sort of tense film. So basically, like I say, he's Sean Bean's character is a drone pilot, and so the story of the film is that there's been a hack or whatever, like the CIA or what have you, and the details, like the names and addresses of like the drone pilots and other things have been leaked. And so a guy turns up at their door.
Right.
They've got like a boat for sale in the thing, in their garden. And I saw like a guy who's, you know, sort of like Middle Eastern-y looking. He's got the beard and that.
Right. Is.
Careful now. I'm going to do like reverse noises like Jason on This Speaks Hobby.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
They were on about Star Wars. And sort of speaking about like their hopes for Last Jedi.
Right.
And what they don't want to happen.
Okay.
And one of them was, Jason said, he kind of went into a little rant, but it got away from him. He said that he didn't want Jason fucking shite.
Joe Boyega?
Yes, completely lost me there.
Jason Boyega?
Jason Boyega. Yeah. He didn't want him to be Lando's son.
He is though.
Because he said like there's more than one African American in space.
Well, yeah, because
Right.
Forrest Whitaker.
But then, like, Jeff started going like, "Oh, well, he's not American, he's British," and it kind of got away. It just completely got away from Jason, and you could kind of hear the panic in his voice.
Yeah.
And like, I was walking the dog when I was listening to it, and I was like, I messaged Jason going, "I'm sure I had beep 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 beep," as you were reversing there. Anyway, yeah. So a guy shows up in their garden, and he goes to Sean Bean's character. I want to buy your boat and all that. So he comes in and he meets all the family. There's like sort of subplots going on with the family, like the grandfather has just died.
Yeah.
And like the wife's having an affair and all that. So it kind of turns into, have you ever seen an Inspector Calls?
No.
In any format?
No.
They've done a few different iterations of it on like film and TV and all that kind of thing. Actually, the guy who played the big bad in Wonder Woman did a very very good version of it on BBC Two. I think it was like last Christmas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't watch it, but I know.
Great.
Yeah.
So it kind of turns into that where they're just sort of shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Basically, and you don't know that he's anything to do with this. So they've got this going on, like on the radio and on the TV, you know, like everybody's names have been leaked, holy fuck. So you don't actually know, it is, but you don't actually know that this guy is to do with it.
Right.
So it becomes like, well, is he just buying a boat?
Right.
Or is he actually anything to do with this? And so they're having like their meal and all that kind of big family meal. He says, "I'll buy your boat. I'll give you, I think it's like 15 grand or something." So he says, "I'll buy it. I want it." So they have sort of a celebration. And he goes, "I'll throw some steaks on the barbecue and all that. We'll have a bit of celebration and that." And so they're having their meal, and then it kind of gets heavy, and they start speaking about, you know, so they sort of start asking about where he's from and all that kind of thing. And then, like, the conversation goes into, you know, like, so, well, my wife and my kid were actually killed and all that. And it's like, fuck! And then he starts going on about American drones blowing shit up and all that kind of thing. And it's a tense as fuck little movie, but you don't actually get to anything until it's like 90 minutes long. You don't actually get to anything, any like big reveals or anything, until the hour mark.
Yeah.
it's a strange little movie, but I couldn't stop watching it.
Is the big reveal that he doesn't have money for the boat?
Oh yeah, that was just a hoax.
Oh man! See, they're never just there to buy a boat.
He didn't. After all that shit, he didn't even buy the fucking boat.
Didn't buy the cockadoodie boat.
Rude. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but it kind of ended. I mean, it ends definitively. You know, it's a good ending and a good sort of climax to the film.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were going to do that, but it was a strange little film.
Good.
But I enjoyed it.
I like a strange film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got one more quickly, because I don't want to spend too long. In fact, I can't remember if I actually talked about this on the last episode. Did I talk about Geostorm?
No, I don't think you did.
The Gerard Butler movie.
Yeah.
We don't advocate a certain website, although we do a section based on that website. Funny that. But we don't advocate a certain website. But if a movie ever deserved 0%, it's Geostorm.
Wow.
Gerard Butler deserves 0% for his role in this movie, as does every other actor in this movie. It is fucking horrendous.
I could have told you that from the trailers, mate.
You know what it is though? Like, it's worse than the trailers, because the trailers make it look like some sort of Roland Emmerich end of the world disaster movie. It isn't. It's like
the bit that I in the trailer that completely lost me and made me go, I am never ever watching that film, is when
Gerard Butler came in.
The plane like gets frozen and it falls to the ground and it smashes like a fucking Terminator, and it's like, I'll get to fuck, that's bollocks.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's like a split second thing. It's fucking terrible. Movie is absolutely god awful. People, please give it 0%. Let it.
Don't do that, because we'll maybe have to watch it at one point.
I've already seen it. It's okay.
Oh, that's fine then.
It's okay.
That's okay.
I'll never be picking that again. It was god awful. I like me some Gerard Butler. In this movie, he's fucking phoning it in like a good one. Like, I'll be fair to him. Like, this is definitely a tax job. Like, definitely. Like, he's owes somebody money.
It's a shit name.
Geostorm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when they say it in the movie,
it's a sci-fi channel name. You know what
yes, it's very Sharknado. Definitely.
What's better, Geostorm or Sharknado?
I'm gonna go with Sharknado right now, because this was fucking terrible. And they try something. I just don't think they know what it is. And they try like to be really big and bold and spacey, but
what?
Can't be saying spacey. But they try and be like really big and bold, and it just doesn't work. It's just a crap film. Nobody's good in it. And don't ever watch it. Geostorm.
Meh.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to watch it.
So you got some TV, have you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Now.
Yeah.
All right.
Quickly, I've caught up on Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you hadn't
seen any of them.
Last time we recorded.
I had started series 1. I had done, I think, about 3 episodes, because I hadn't seen Tom Hardy yet. I was looking forward to seeing Tom Hardy. And I've done 3 series, and I'm up to episode 4 on series 4. I've done well.
You have done well.
It's like 2 weeks I've done 3.5 series.
Yeah.
It's fucking great, though.
It is great.
Awesome.
Cillian
Murphy is just outstanding in that show. Finn Cole, not Finn Cole, Joe Cole.
Joe Cole.
The guy that plays John. Amazing. Fucking devastated, but he's amazing.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I know. Tom Hardy is fucking awesome. Is it Alfie? Alfie Solomon?
Alfie.
He is amazing.
Yeah, he is.
But it's one of those shows that like people keep turning up, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, who the fuck else is going to be in this show? Noah Taylor.
The big show.
Noah Taylor turning up. Sam Neill in the first and second series. Just on. But Helen McCrory, you are right. You are right. She is absolute dynamite. She's no Vicky McClure, but she's very, very close to Vicky McClure standards. I'm loving Peaky Blinders. One gripe, Adrian Brody.
Yeah, agreed.
What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, he's terrible.
Like you said.
Well, I'm
last
not a fan of him anyway. I think he's hugely overrated. But I said to you last night as I was watching it, that show's better than him. He's shit. He's just basically playing Marlon Brando.
Basically, yeah. I personally do like Adrian Brody. Some things, not everything. Not everything. I think the Pianist was a load of shite, and everybody gives it a dose of plaudits, but I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. I personally do think Adrian Brody can act, and I personally think he has his moments. But yeah, he's doing a really, really cheap Marlon Brando impression in this show. And as you said, the show's way better than him.
Yeah.
It
got to... Because I left it a couple of weeks after it started.
Yeah.
Before I started watching it. And yeah, it was like... I was obviously enjoying it because it's Peaky fucking Blinders.
Yeah.
But the bits that he was in, I was like, fuck this, I don't want to watch it. Like...
I've been the same. I've been sitting there thinking, I'm not keen on you. I don't really care about your character. I don't really care about you being in this show. But the last episode, when he actually got a monologue of sorts, he spoke for longer than 2 seconds, and I thought, get off.
Yeah.
Go away. Leave me alone. I don't want you in this show. If you're going to go... I just don't care.
And he's got the fucking matchstick in
Yeah.
his mouth. Fuck off, mate.
Which I will say, for the first 2 series, annoyed me about John's character. For the first 2 series. But then I learned to live with it because he's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
He is cool.
Bless him.
Peaky fucking Blinders.
I'm kind of semi-tempted to get a Peaky Blinders hat, but I'd look like a complete cunt.
With an actual razor blade in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't do that.
Oh,
Don't do that.
Definitely.
Don't do that.
Or, if people are like jumping up and down on chairs in pubs and that.
Aye.
Like,
Slash.
Yeah.
Definitely. And Aidan Gillen. It's nice to see him
He's
not...
great. He is
You know what it is, though? It's nice to see him not doing...
I figured out where I saw his son, the guy's playing his son.
Okay.
He was in that Channel 4 show where he played the serial killer, the murderer. It came out like earlier on this year.
Okay.
I fucking can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now, but that's where I've seen him before.
Excellent.
I did talk about it on the show though, so
I'm glad you remembered.
yeah, it was annoying me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, Aidan Gillen, it's nice to see him not doing Littlefinger's accent because, that was embarrassing. And in this, he's just basically being Aidan Gillen.
Yeah.
Aberana Gold.
The moment where they're, spoilers, burning somebody's body. No! So they're burning his body, and
he was my
it
favourite
turns out
character.
that it's basically Tommy has laid a trap, and so they've got him there. Oh, fucking great.
It is
It's
fantastic.
just such a good show. I've been trying to get Paul to watch it,
Yeah.
but he's not seen it.
Burn or
And-
Trotter?
Trotter.
Yeah, I was going to say he'd have a hard sell with Burn. Actually, no, that's his type of show, isn't it?
Fuck me, it took me about 5 years to get burned, 6 years to get burned to watch Game of Thrones, so...
Yeah. You've got no chance. He'd be like, what? BBC Two?
Posh wankers. Posh fucking wankers.
Yeah, Ponzi fuck. That's exactly what he would say.
Yeah. Punisher.
Right.
Great.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I've watched the first 2 episodes and I've fallen asleep precisely 6 times during those first 2 episodes.
Shit. Okay.
I'm gonna watch it.
I think you have to go through it. Now, I will agree, right? Okay, so it kind of... Marvel, or Netflix, whatever, I suppose they don't really have this problem anymore because it's moving to the Disney streaming service.
Well, that's not 100% yet.
Is it not?
Apparently Netflix is holding on.
Right.
I don't know why, because Netflix is hemorrhaging money fucking like there's no tomorrow. So maybe it's a good thing if they take it back,
But they need to assess how many episodes they're giving these shows.
Right.
Because The Defenders was 8 episodes. And I really enjoyed The Defenders.
A lot of people said that about The Defenders, the fact that it was only 8.
But Punisher, and I think probably like say Daredevil season 2 suffered from this as well, where it ended the Punisher story and then went on a whole fucking tangent with his Elektra bollocks.
Yeah.
Where you didn't need that shit in there. just have the Punisher story and have it 8 episodes.
I always said with Daredevil, especially season 2, I still thought season 1 held its own right the way through, but season 2 of Daredevil, there's 4 episodes you could have done away with, easily, and it would never have mattered.
Yeah, I think that with Punisher, it's kind of the same. Where I thoroughly enjoyed like the first 4 episodes. I really enjoyed it, and then it kind of slowed down. And granted,
it slows down.
Shut up. Granted, it was doing a bit of, it was doing a bit of building and character development and all that kind of thing. And fuck me, does it pick up at the end? Holy fucking shit!
I can't believe it slows down. So does it go from like first gear to reverse?
Ow.
Like
the first episodes are not first gear.
The first episode barely hits first gear. It just trundles along like a wet fart, and then you get a bit of action at the end, and you go, "Oh yay!" And then it finishes. Honestly, like I'm gonna watch it because Bernthal, the first 2 episodes, he's fucking great. He is great.
Well, you have to, he gets to do some nice bits of acting and some nice monologues and all that kind of thing. So you have to watch it just for that. But so the sort of overarching thing is there's the video that's been leaked of the torture of the
I saw that.
Afghani or whatever. And so there's have you seen his kind of sidekick fella being introduced yet?
Micro.
Yeah.
The guy with the computers and stuff that's like surveilling him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met him.
And so obviously he's had to like leave his family and pretend to be dead and stuff.
Is he the Ben Foster character from the movie?
I've never seen the movies.
I'll be completely honest with you. My problem is, and I'm probably going to take shit for this, I love the Punisher movie, the Tom Jane Punisher movie.
I've never seen it.
I think it's great, but I think it's way better than this TV show so far.
So you may be comparing it to that.
Probably.
That's not right, is it?
It's not right, but I don't care because I slept my way through the first episode.
Shoddy. Were you not just tired?
I was probably tired, which is why I went back and watched it again. I've watched the first episode twice. The second episode I will watch, but again I fell asleep.
But I still think that there's enough going on. I said that it slows down to do some world building and all that kind of thing. Shut up. But there's still stuff going on in that. It's not like it's fucking for like 4 episodes. It's just entirely dialogue. It's not that at all.
Yeah,
that's not what I mean.
No, I don't think you mean that either.
Thank you. But fuck me, the end, like the final 2 episodes, are amazing.
Right.
But I do think that they should like shorten the length of the series.
8 and done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it because I've been waiting for it. Because Punisher, as far as like Marvel movies go, possibly before the MCU, I never really cared much about Marvel heroes or Marvel vigilantes or whatever you want to call them.
Except Spider-Man, obviously.
I've never really been a Spidey fan either.
Bastard.
But I've always loved the Punisher. Like, I love the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. I love the Tom Jane Punisher. I think Punisher's fucking great because he's Batman. He's Batman without a moral compass, basically. So, and I love Batman, so it makes sense.
Have you seen how many episodes are you?
2.
Right. So have you seen the bit in where he's working on the building site?
Yeah, and that was like first episode.
Was it first episode?
Yeah,
right. Okay.
when he throws the guys in the concrete.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, but that's what I mean though. Like, I spent the whole episode sitting there thinking. And then you get a bit of action at the end.
That was creepy.
And then it stops. And I'm like, right, could have done with a bit of that, like all the way through. I know you got to build characters up, but we saw him be a badass in Daredevil. So why is he being a muckle flaky prick now?
Because he thought that he was done. He thought that at the end of, or the first episode sees him go after the final people that he thought were responsible. So he fucking burns his suit with the Punisher logo on.
But why could we not have got that? Why could we not have got extended that? More of that?
Because they had a story to tell.
Just give us more of that.
Shut up.
I wanted to see him going on a rampage to kill the fucking people that killed his wife and his kids. But you didn't really get that. You got like a little montage.
Well, if you keep watching it, you will get that. You will get that.
What I did like and what was very interesting was the flashbacks he kept having when he was in bed and he was dreaming about his wife and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. That played about with me a little bit. I was like, it's a bit creepy, but I liked it. I quite liked it. And then when he saw like her head explode and stuff like that, I was fucking hell, that was quite good. That woke me up.
Oh shit! There you go.
I'm gonna watch it. I am gonna watch it because I've been waiting for it. I was just a bit bored.
There you go. There you go.
I know.
But you're a bit of a pissy bastard with the Marvel TV shows, aren't
With
you?
the Marvel TV shows, very much so.
Have you watched Jessica Jones?
No.
You watched
One episode.
To be fair, I didn't watch all. I gave up on Luke Cage after 3 episodes.
10 seconds.
Did you watch Defenders?
No.
Right. So you've seen Daredevil 1 and 2, and that's it.
Yep.
Okay.
None of Iron Fist.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So did everyone. Don't worry
Easily
about it.
done, Actually, Iron Fist or Iron Fist was.
Iron.
It wasn't bad.
It's just not good.
Exactly.
It's just not good.
Just not great.
I put it on and I watched about.
I watched it all.
Do you remember the first episode?
Not
When he goes into the building that's apparently owned by his dead parents.
Yes,
I think that was like right at the start, just after the credits.
pretty much.
I
Yeah.
turned it off there because I was like, press off.
Press off.
Fucking what's
No
his...
more of that shit. Fucking hell. What other TV shows you got, my friend?
I have a TV show that I really want you to watch.
Oh.
I think you're going to love this. It is on Hulu, which we don't get, so unfortunately you might have to use some back channels. Like I don't do, but have been known to do.
Like in this instance.
This is a TV show that is on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, because apparently they do that. It's called Future Man.
See, I hear Hulu and I think Hawaii.
That's Honolulu.
Oh. So Hulu is not Hawaii then?
Hulu is...
Is that like Hawaii's own streaming service?
No, Hulu is a very cheap version of Netflix. I think it costs about the same, but I don't mean that. I just mean it doesn't really have anything on it.
Apparently it plays Raw and SmackDown.
Sweet.
Well,
Sweet. But yeah,
sarcasm.
Future Man.
Future Man, okay.
This
You
show...
did message me about this the other night.
This show is absolutely right up my street. Absolutely, I think you'd enjoy it as well. It stars Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
The Raw Deal remake. Was it Raw Deal? The remake. Chris Hemsworth. He was in that.
Oh,
as well.
not Raw Deal. That's Arnie. Bloody Red Heat.
Red Heat. No. It's not Red Heat either. Shit. Film fans, right?
I know what you mean. So where the Koreans come in.
Yeah.
And they're all invading and that.
Sorry, you have to say Koreans. Koreans.
Why?
Because that's how the Texans say it. The Koreans. But yeah.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn! well done.
Thank you very
well
much.
done, that man over there. 10 points. Josh Hutcherson is...
Red Heat is Arnie as well.
Yes.
And Jim Belushi, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, bygones.
Yeah. Future Man.
Yeah.
Josh Hutcherson is the main character. He's a bit of a nerd. He's a janitor at a pharmaceutical company. But he's a total nerd, and he plays a game called Fuck Me.
Wow.
What's
a good game.
What's the fucking game called?
Jumanji.
Can't remember the name of the game. But he plays this game, and it's known as the game that nobody has ever beaten. Nobody's ever completed it because it's unbeatable, basically. And he's obsessed with playing it, and he likes playing it because it's unbeatable. Because nobody's ever done it, that's why he plays it. Because like anybody can win Mario, but nobody's beaten this game, which is why he plays it all the time. So he's playing it and he's playing it, and he always gets to like level 83 and then dies when he goes through the lift and all that, and that's sort of like the last level. So he has like a brainwave of how he's going to do this last level. He wins the game. He's all excited because he's won the game and all that, so he decides to have a wank. So he's sitting there and he's having a bit of a wank to himself.
Okay.
And just as he's about to shoot his muck, he opens his eyes, and the main female character and the main male character from the game are standing in his bedroom watching him. And he does actually spunk on the guy. which was just great. It's very adult. It's very adult humor. There's some great stuff to it. But the two characters have come back in time. The man and the woman have come back in time because the game in the future that he's playing, that game in the future is a training simulation to find the savior who's going to save the world. So because he's completed the game, he's the savior. So they have to come back in time and they find out that he's just like a nerdy janitor and he's not exactly what they were hoping for. But it's
comedy.
It's comedy. It's quite serious when it needs to be. It's very violent. It's hilarious. There's a lot of wank jokes. It can't be a wank joke. It's hugely meta. Like they're always talking about pop culture references because they have to go back into 1969. In the first episode, they have to go back to 1969 to stop the guy who's creating a cure for herpes. But in creating a cure for herpes, he creates the cure for like all known ailments, which brings around the end of existence.
Okay.
So they need to stop him from making that so that they can stop their world being like wiped out, basically.
So it's just sort of a bit of a fucked up version of Miles Dyson then?
Yes. And which he references about 20 times through the series. But they go.
That sounds good.
They go back in time. They go back in time, and when they're in the 60s, you have that moment where like they're about to do something, and he's like, no, we can't do that. And he's like, why? And he's like, because Back to the Future. You've seen Back to the Future, right? Like it'll never work. We can't do it. It's Back to the Future. We can't mess with the fucking timelines. And the guys are kind of like, what the fuck are you on about? Like if we just kill him as a baby. And he's going, no, you can't fucking kill a baby. He's like, you can't go back in time to kill a fucking baby. And they're going, why? And he's like, because it's not right. So to him, like, he's living in 2017. We're all like a bunch of snowflakes. And he's like, you can't do that because it's not right. And they're like living in like 2127 when they're like, it doesn't fucking matter. We'll go back and we'll kill him. Lot of meta jokes. I think it's fucking brilliant. I hope it gets another series.
I will watch that.
It's a cool 13 episodes, half an hour each, so you're not there long. Literally, I blitzed the whole 13 episodes in one afternoon. Like, I just sat there the whole day watching this show, and I was hooked right the way through. There's a fucking episode, it's like a bottle episode, where they go a little bit into the future, and they break into James Cameron's house. Because they need, it's like this special fluid type thing that powers the transporter device, the time travel device, and of course it's called Cameronium, right? Because James Cameron likes to name things wanky things like unobtainium.
Unobtainium, yeah.
So it's that whole thing about that, but in a little bit in the future, James Cameron's like, he's a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu. He like creates this. He thinks he's the fucking god of the world, and there's a lot of James Cameron jokes that just absolutely smash. Like, every joke in that episode, I was just sat there fucking killing myself. And there's like, he's got this computer that runs his whole house, controls his whole house. And there's a scene where the guy gets trapped. So he just kind of gives up a little bit. And there's literally a fucking door, like a bedpost thing on the floor. And he's like, what's this for? And she's like, well, it can fit 2 people, but apparently in James Cameron's world, only 1. And there's like loads of like jokes like that. It just, yeah, you need to watch it. I think everybody should watch it. I just think it's great.
Okay.
And Josh Hutcherson's the main guy. There's not really that many other people in it that you'll know, but they're all fucking fantastic. The 2 main characters, the man and the woman who've come back in time, they are absolutely outstanding right the way through. And I'm sitting there going, I've never seen either of these in anything.
I do like Josh Hutcherson, though.
He's good. He's very good in this. And, yeah, when he wants to be a badass, he's a badass. But he totally... He nails all the jokes. Like, the time travel jokes, when he's always like, it's time travel 101 kind of thing. And he just nails every single one. And obviously, you have a scene where he's possibly about to start kissing his mum.
Okay.
And he's like... He stands there and he's like, holy shit, I nearly Marty McFly'd that. And they kind of stood there going, what? And he's like, Marty McFly. He's like, I nearly... Forget about it. That's why I think it would be well up your street.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Because it's all jokes like that, and I think you should check it out. I loved it. I hope it gets another series. I hope it gets loads of series, because it's great.
Okay.
And of course, whenever you change the timeline, it never quite works out.
No, as we know.
As we know.
Yeah. Right, okay, so next, what else have we watched? Right, there is a show on BBC. What I have been watching. The show is called Love, Lies and Records.
Okay.
Right. It stars Ashley Jensen, who's Maggie from Extras, and Rebecca Front. Do you know her?
No.
She's a British actress, and she's great. Like, she's been in loads of things. Did you ever watch Grandma's House, the Simon Amstel show? No.
Don't like Simon Amstel.
You don't like Simon Amstel?
Nah. Is that him that did Buzzcocks?
Yeah.
Nah.
No? Oh.
Second-rate Mark Lamar.
I like him better than Mark Lamar.
Nah, Mark Lamar was the best.
No, well, you're wrong.
No, you're wrong.
Well, no, you are. Anyway, so yeah, Rebecca Front, she's a great actress. I can't believe you've never heard of her. So it takes place in, actually takes place in like a records office, you know, like sort of births, deaths, marriages, that kind of thing. It's a drama, and it's one of those things where I should really be going, fuck this, I'm not watching this shit.
So like 13 Reasons.
Kind of. The guy who played Hairy Hands in Touch of Cloth is also in it.
Right.
He plays Ashley Jensen's like boyfriend's fiance.
Excellent.
So there's like lots going on. So Rebecca, crap, I'm fucking calling it off you prick. So Matt Hardy there.
Don't, because that is atrocious. That is atrocious.
The bit that he did on Raw then, is
atrocious.
that not good compared to
TNA?
TNA.
No, TNA was glorious.
No, that's probably rude.
What he's doing on Raw is not good.
But that's his first goal.
It doesn't matter. It was spot on from word one on TNA.
I hated it, and I almost... Well, I've cancelled Sky Sports anyway, so I'm going to be...
Did you sick in your mouth?
No, not.
Oh.
No, not over that. But, yeah, I'm about to actually give up watching the TV shows.
Yeah.
You don't watch them anymore, do you?
Nah.
Anyway, Love, Lies and Records. Yep. Yeah, so it's so there's lots going on. Rebecca Front kind of plays a bit of a bitch, and she's looking for the manager's job and that in the place. Ashley Jensen is obviously the main character, so she's the goodie kind of thing. But she also cheated on her husband, or she cheated on her husband and that. And so Rebecca Front has got like footage of her doing it with one of the other lads in the office. And so Ashley Jensen is given a promotion, and Rebecca Front goes, well, fuck you, I'm going to show everybody this footage of you fucking that guy from the office. But there's also, like, the main plot of the show is a bit like, well, you don't know what it is yet. Is it sex trafficking? Is it izzy? We don't know. So there's like, in the first episode, there's like a sort of, I think it's Iranian guy, who's trying to thingy a marriage to a British lass so that he can, well, assume get like a dual passport, like a British passport. And so Ashley Jensen's character is like, there's something not quite right here, but her husband is a policeman, because of course he fucking is. Because
why not?
Yeah. So she tells the policeman because it might advance the plot. And but so nobody will kind of believe her that there's something not quite right here. So she's kind of like, you know, Jessica Fletcher in it a little bit.
You know what, man? You just sold me with Jessica Fletcher.
Right, okay, done.
That's all you had to say.
Ashley Jensen is fucking great. She really is.
Is she as tidy as Jessica Fletcher?
Like Jessica Fletcher now or Jessica Fletcher back then? So I would have had a go on Jessica Fletcher back then. I
probably would back then, and a little bit now.
As long as she did the theme tune.
Yeah.
As we were.
Oh, she has to be like, as you'd given it as you'd given it to her, she has to be sitting there going, that was terrible. That didn't sound anything like it. How did it go? That's not bad. That's better than what I did. Did you see her in the news the other day? saying that all these women who've been getting abused by the producers and stuff, the Weinstein Gate and everything, the women, the victims, apparently need to take some of the blame themselves.
Right.
She's a bit weird. Apparently they bring it on themselves. In Jessica Fletcher's mind.
Ah, fuck that. Jessica Fletcher can say what she wants.
That is instantly what I thought. And then I thought, a bit much, but it is Jessica Fletcher. She solved a lot of crimes.
She did. And she's the worst person to know ever.
But you still would.
I'm really enjoying it. It's like, again, it's a bit melodrama-y in places. The main plot of the show is obviously this thing. It's like what's going on.
Yeah.
With it, and there's like Ukrainians and Slovakians and fucking Slovenians. I don't think Slovakia is a place anymore. Whatever. It changes. Chops changes.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, and Ashley Jensen is fucking great, and it's great.
Great in everything.
It's great watching her. Just watching her on TV.
On TV, yeah.
That became sinister for a second.
A little bit.
Before I finished.
Watching her through my binos.
It's just great watching her. I can't do that. Right, next, you go.
I haven't got anything else, man.
Alright, fuck. Okay. Right, wait a minute. What else have I got?
You got one more and then we'll move on.
I've got one more, Godless, on the Netflix.
Now you're loving this.
It's great.
A little bit of Jack O'Connell. Sorry. You're like...
Fuck me. Jack O'Connell, Jeff Daniels, Scoot McNairy is in there as well.
From
he plays
BDS.
The sheriff.
Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. And also another woman I think is fucking fantastic. She was in Nurse Jackie, and she was also in The Walking Dead. She's the one who got the arrow through the eye.
You love a bit of Nurse Jackie.
I love Nurse Jackie, yeah.
The fat lesbian doctor from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
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 Tara's
she was Fistbum's girlfriend.
Aye, Fistbum's girlfriend, aye.
She's great. She's why I watched the fucking thing.
She was great in The Walking Dead, though.
Yeah, she was, and then they fucked it.
Yep. Like, just on the whole, they fucked the series. The show's dead now.
If she'd still been in it, she could have been a potential replacement for Rambo Carroll for me.
Yeah.
Because I think that actress is... I can't remember what her fucking name is, but I think she's fucking fantastic.
Also, side note, not watched this week's episode yet.
I thought you were giving up on it.
No, I gave it another go because they kind of brought me back.
You're never going to give up on that shit.
No. They brought me back a little bit.
Did they?
Because of Rambo Carroll. It looked like Rambo Carroll was back. She's not back. I've not watched this week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I put this on the Jock and Nerd community, right? Because that show is so bollocks, right? Because the first 6 episodes all takes place in like a 3-hour period, 4-hour period.
Right.
Because it's like the war's kicking off and that. But in the last episode I watched, at the start, they were all going to like these little secret hideouts, and they were finding like 4-page essays that they'd each written to each other. Carol had written one, Rick had written one, and Maggie had written one to update them on how the war's going. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so this has been going on for like possibly 5 hours at most. When the fuck have they had the time to write a 5-page essay telling each other how things are going? It doesn't make any sense anymore.
It would take me about fucking a week to write a 5-page...
A 5-page essay? It's fucking mental. And Rick doesn't really need to write anything because he just speaks in grunts nowadays. Like, Coral. Coral. Like, that's all he does. The show's fucking bollocks.
Well, stop watching it then!
I have! I just told you I've not watched this week's episode.
That's not the same thing.
I watched The Apprentice. Like, straight away. So it is the same thing.
What?
The Apprentice. I watched The Apprentice the night it's on. I left The Walking Dead.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
It's not.
It totally is, though.
It isn't.
It's not, because
have you deleted it from your planner?
I can't do that.
Or whatever.
I've given it 8 years. 8 years of my life I've given that show.
Yes, and it's crap.
It is now.
Stop fucking watching it.
It has been for 3 series.
Because it's going to go on for the next 6 years, apparently.
I know, apparently,
so
yeah.
Stop watching it. Stop. Just give it up for a bad job. Stop watching it.
Okay.
You're not going to do it, are you?
Nah.
Wanker.
I'm going to try.
What was I talking about there? Godless. Yeah.
Because you like a bit of Jack O'Connell. It's in my head now, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Godless, yeah.
Old Westy thing on Netflix. Jeff Daniels, Jack O'Connell, Scoot McNairy, what's her name?
Boosh.
Done. Fucking great. I'm really enjoying it. It's fucking great. Yeah, it's on Netflix. Watch it. Boom. Done.
Is it as good as The Ranch
The fuck is that?
with Ashton Kutcher?
I've never heard of that.
It's on Netflix as well. Apparently people like it.
I've never heard of that. Hold on a wee second. I'm going to give this woman a shout out because she will be listening, obviously.
Who's this now? Your mum. Because this woman you're going to try and shout out's not listening.
Your fucking mum.
Ew.
What?
I don't like her.
Merritt Weaver.
Aye. From Nurse Jackie. Walking Dead.
Fuck you. Oh, and also the lad, he's been in Doctor Who. He plays the deputy.
Ah, Brody
Yeah.
Sangster.
Right. Top 5.
Top 5. Is that what we're going on to next? Because
Yeah.
we've still got two
Oh
other
shit,
sections.
that's right. Fucking Just the Pilot and Zero
Right,
Percenters. Okay.
we'll do quick
So-
promo and then just the pilot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming to you live from a dimension where Rick and Morty podcasts are in fact a thing. Brandon and Travis bring you weekly RAM content to wet your whistle and kick your listening pleasure into 12th gear. Check out Interdimensional RSS, the unofficial Rick and Morty podcast, everywhere podcasts are sold. Wubba-lubba-dub-dub!
So now this one is your baby.
Thank you very much. So for Just the Pilot, we watched Sky One's Sick Note, starring Rupert Grint, Nick Frost, and Don Johnson. What did you think?
I'll be completely honest with you, this wasn't for me.
Really?
On paper, it's exactly the type of show I want to watch. I didn't find this very funny at all.
Right.
Parts of it I did, but it was very. It felt very sitcom-y to me, but like trying to be a bit edgier. Obviously with the whole cancer thing and stuff, but it just didn't. No.
Right. Okay.
I like Rupert Grint. I think Rupert Grint's probably better than this show. I like Nick Frost. It's probably about Nick Frost's speed, this show. Don Johnson's fucking awesome in it.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck's he been? Like, I haven't really seen him in anything decent for a long time. He was in the Dawn of the not the Dawn of the Dusk Till Dawn series
Right.
on
Yeah, I watched
El
the
Rey.
first series of that. I never got round to watching any more of it.
He was in that. He was fairly good in that. But yeah, he's fucking great in this. He was great in this when he's just like proper boiling that he couldn't sack the kid. Like, just, he was great. But I don't know, the show, I thought the show was going to be 100% my type of show. It just felt a bit flat for me.
Right.
It's good.
That's a shame.
It's good. It's funny. But for me, it just felt it was just a bit flat.
Okay. I absolutely loved it.
Did you?
Yeah. I've watched 5 episodes.
Oh, well, there you go.
But
That's about as much as you can love a show.
yeah, I think there's only one more to go. But yeah, I fucking thoroughly enjoy it. Have enjoyed it. Nick Frost is fantastic. As
Yeah.
the sort of bumbling, dumbass doctor.
Yeah.
His wife is played by Will's mum from The Inbetweeners.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
Rupert Grint is great.
I did spend most of the episode trying to figure out who his wife was. Damn. Rupert Grint is good. He is good in it. I don't know if it's just like, it's the old cancer trope. The old, like, we're going to use cancer as a comedy device, which when done correctly, it does work. And I'm not saying they're doing it wrong in this show. It just feels like it's happening a lot more in TV shows. And I'm kind of just, I'm not done with it, but I'm just a little bit like,
I mean, there are moments where it goes completely fucking mental.
Yeah.
Like there's moments where it's like, this is a plot from fucking Hello. There was one bit in one of the episodes that I watched. Maybe this isn't a good pick for Just the Pilot, because maybe you can't get a feel. Maybe it's
you
like
can't
one
really
of those
know.
things where you've got to give it 3 episodes, but that's a bit wordy.
Yeah, we're not called just the 3
first 3
episodes.
episodes.
just the first 3. That's just the 3. That's like, no.
But there's a bit where the best mate has heard him overheard him saying, "I've not got cancer," and that. Did that happen?
When he's up against the window.
Aye. Picking it off. So he's in a coma.
Which, if I'm honest, I was glad the episode ended there. Because I was like, I'm done. I like that for me, although it was quite funny, it just like when they were going from room to room and then he hid outside on the windowsill, I was just kind of like, it just felt like a lot of we've seen this before. Honestly, that was my problem.
I don't think necessarily like it's a lot of what we've seen before, but I mean, there's some scenes where it's by the numbers. I think that Don Johnson
By the numbers, that's what I thought. It just wasn't coming out.
no more of that side for you. Don Johnson, like you said, Kev, is fucking amazing in it. There's in one of the episodes, I think it might be episode 3 or episode 4, I can't remember which. That to sort of get away with, you know, there's obviously like sort of constantly trying to not be figured out. So like Rupert Grint says to Nick Frost, so can you like get me sort of chemo tablets, like a bottle for like that held chemo tablets, and like, you know, I'll put paracetamol in it or something like that, so it looks like I'm taking chemo tablets. And then that escalates into Don Johnson's character wants to get a photo of him actually getting the injection-y chemo.
Right.
And so Nick Frost like says, well, I'll get the sticker from a chemo thing and I'll put it onto like a you know, water or whatever, you know, when somebody's dehydrated kind of thing, and that'll no bother. And so but that gets smashed.
Obviously.
Nick Frost gets called away, it gets smashed. And so Don Johnson says to the nurse, like the attendee nurse, well, give him more, give him the chemotherapy so we can get these photos. And so she said, well, I'm not qualified to do that. And he pulls a gun on her and he's like thinking at gunpoint, give him the fucking chemo. So he actually gets chemo.
Right.
You're not buying it, are you?
No.
That's okay. That's all right. I fucking absolutely love the show. I think it's funny as hell.
I could personally see why people would love the show. And this was what was pissing me off while I was watching it, because I'm sitting there thinking, this is exactly right up my street. It's exactly my type of humour. I don't know, maybe what you're saying about getting a real feel of it over like 2 or 3 episodes, maybe that would have helped. But I only watched the first episode and I was just sitting there thinking, seen most of this before, funnier. Nobody was really doing much for me. I was liking the conversations over the headset with his mate.
Yeah.
I was liking that stuff. Yeah. But just for the most part, I was just like, it just wasn't for me.
Fair enough. That's okay.
I might go back to it and give it a go.
The whole point of the segment is just the pilot. Would you watch more? So obviously you wouldn't.
I don't think I would.
I have. So.
But that was the thing, like, it is my type of humour. You know me. You know fine well that's my type of humour. Mm-hmm. And that's what was pissing me off. That's what was pissing me off more than anything. Like, I know that I should be enjoying this.
Yeah.
Just a little bit flat for me. But
fair enough.
That's fine.
Fair enough. Not for everyone. Okay, so do you want to know what we're doing next?
Not really, because you said I'm going to be pissed off.
I think, not pissed off maybe, but, okay, so a few weeks ago on Hobby, the guys were on about a show. It is on Netflix. And, so there's a show on Netflix. Apparently it's huge. Yeah. I'm not even sure.
What was that you were doing there?
Huge.
Yeah, but what was, like, who were you doing?
I was saying huge.
Were you trying to do a Trump there?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't. I'm fucking offended by the insinuation.
I think he should be.
Fuck you.
I think he's offended.
Right, so I'm not even sure how I'm going to get on with this.
Right.
Right, so it's on Netflix. The show is Winona Earp.
Oh, they've been going on about this a lot, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get...
So we will watch the first episode.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we think. I'm hoping it's going to be a bit of a Buffy vibe to it. Maybe.
I don't think it will be, but, let's just get on with it.
We'll see how we get on. We'll watch the pilot, as the name suggests.
Yep.
And see how we go.
Okay.
Done.
So we will take a break. Let's do 0%, because it's not going to take long. Cheeky promo. 0%ers.
Got an emergency situation. Incoming meteor shower.
You gotta take a look at this.
Came in direct contact with those spores.
I was scared.
You have what appears to be a massively accelerated pregnancy. You're showing signs of paranoia. It's hallucinating.
So, Stranded.
So,
2012's
13, wasn't it?
2013's Stranded. 15 reviews on the old Rotten Tomatoes, all of them rotten. Christian Slater, probably the only name in the movie. Brandon Fair's in it as well. He was in like Roswell way back in the day.
Yeah.
He's in Night Shift, the
Is
TV
that like
show.
the arsehole who was like...
the baldy cut. The baldy twat.
It's already... I think I've already dropped that tonight, so that's fine. Don't worry.
But a little bit of...
That's way too strong for you, by the way. Like,
a little bit of information on the director, because the director's got some pedigree.
Has he?
Yeah, so we'll start there, because it gets no better. Director Roger Christian. He was also the director of the massively, massively, massively praised and well-beloved Battlefield Earth with John Travolta.
People employed him again after that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Get that. Gets better. Which, by the way, we will never have to watch as 0% because it got 3%.
Fucking hell.
So, but before that, before these two wonderful 0% movies or 3% movies, he was the art director on Alien, the first Alien. He was the second AD on The Phantom Menace and Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was the set director on A New Hope.
So he was responsible for Gungans and Ewoks.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Gungans, Ewoks, and this piece of shit that we're about to talk about. So how did you get on with Stranded?
Right, well, I was mostly drunk.
Good idea.
Yeah. Well, I did ask you when I started to put it on, or as the opening credits were thingying. I did say, so do I need beer here or not? And you said, oh, fucking yes, you
Yes, big time, yes.
Yeah. It felt like an episode of Doctor Who, just no doctor.
No doctor, no sense of script, direction.
No real kind of plot, no real sense, really.
Yeah.
No, I just, you know how, like, the Doctor Who sort of does their, like, they're sort of stranded in the middle of nowhere episodes.
Yep.
Normally like a space station or fucking, like a spaceship about to plummet into a sun or something like that. It felt very much like that. I was hoping that the TARDIS noise was going to kick off, but it didn't.
But unlike Doctor Who, where it starts off stranded on some sort of space station, and then as the episode goes on, the danger gets worse, and they have to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
This movie starts off with danger, and then completely forgets about the danger, and does nothing for the next hour and 10 minutes. This movie's fucking horrendous.
Wow.
Oh my god, what is Christian Slater doing in this movie?
Well, why? Right, okay, this is my first gripe, was why would you get Christian the fuck Slater in your movie and then sitting behind a monitor for fucking about 2/3 of the movie? Why would you do that?
Because I guess they just wanted Christian Slater, but Christian Slater didn't read Taxman?
Possibly.
Is that now why all these actors do these movies now?
Like, but, you know, you've got Christian Slater and they've basically turned him into fucking, what's her name from Arrow?
Yeah.
Like, he's just going to...
That's brilliant. That is absolute. Yeah. He was what's her name from Arrow?
Felicity
from
Bless
Arrow.
her.
I prefer just calling her what's her name from Arrow. I had some observations, and these aren't really observations about the movie. It's more just about my feelings while I was watching the movie. So yeah, I had the vaguest idea about what was going on in this film.
Yeah, kind of.
It was like you say. It was a Doctor Who bottle episode, trying to be sort of the Thing in space. Like the monster was kind of inside some of them, but who? Yeah, and where did that come from?
That was why. Well, it came from the space puke.
Space Puke.
So they were looking at Space Puke, and then the woman Rennie, what's her name, herself with the thing out of that Dustin Hoffman movie. Ah, crap! You know the one with the monkey,
The Meyerowitz. Oh, Outbreak.
Outbreak. That's the one.
I love Outbreak.
What's
Rennie
the name of
Russo.
that? That's the one. I was going to say Rennie Zellweger, but no, never
She's
that.
lovely.
Never
Rennie
that.
Russo.
Yeah,
Now or then.
both.
Yeah.
So yeah, she kind of injects herself, stupid bastard, and then she gets infected, and then a guy gets bitten on the leg, and then no one believes any of them.
Yep. Because that would advance the plot if they believe them.
Well, yeah, but that was something that annoyed me, right? So this shit happens, and so she covers it up because she doesn't want to admit that she injected herself or cut herself. But then no one believes anyone or listens to anyone telling them what's happened to them. No one believes anyone. And no one takes an order from anyone. I believe Christian Slater's character was a colonel?
Yeah.
Or a general, one of the two.
I think he's a general.
Who overrules anyone on the fucking space station or
But he doesn't
whatever.
try.
But he's giving orders, and then they're just doing it anyway. You know, like in Alien, there's the scene where sort of towards the start of it, just after John Hart's been thingy with the face hugger, and they're saying to Ripley, open the fucking door, open the door, and she's like, no, I'm not opening the door, and then the captain of the ship opens it. You know, and that's the sort of beginning of Ellen Ripley.
Yeah.
Bless her.
I love her.
But, so Christian Slater is given the orders saying, close the fucking door, no one go in, and then they're going, no, we're going in the door, and we're going in to investigate the bastard, and then the guy gets bitten on the leg, and it's like, no, you're not being bitten on the leg. It was your imagination, kid. For fuck's sake.
My imagination was that this movie had anything happening.
Yeah.
So I had no idea who anybody was or what anybody's motivations were. Christian Slater is the only one trying to do something in this movie. However, you can clearly tell he is somewhat embarrassed by being part of this god-awful movie. Which I think is why he sits behind the desk all day. Because there's literally scenes in this movie where you can actually see Christian Slater rolling his eyes at other actors. Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I'm Christian Slater. You know, I was in fucking Pump Up the Volume, you dick.
He's been in, Mr. Robot.
It's just awesome. Young Guns, for fuck's sake. Christian Slater, Young Guns too.
Like Kevin Costner was texting him while he was on set going, what you doing? And he either had the choice of going, I'm working on this movie called Stranded, or I'm not up to anything. He said, I'm not doing anything, mate.
I'm taking a week off, to be honest. I'm not sat behind a computer screen pretending to not care. But honestly, he just didn't look like he wanted to be there. This fucking film is terrible. I really didn't like this film.
So, was there anything you liked?
No.
No?
Nothing.
Wow, are you going to say that? Is this your first ever
This is
0%?
definitely a 0% for
Wow.
me. I like, the only thing going into this film that I had any hope for, because I read the synopsis, the only thing I had any hope for was the fact that Christian Slater was in it. I thought he's going to pull his socks up. Because even that film, Mindhunters, with him, Val Kilmer, Johnny Lee Miller, and LL Cool J, isn't the best movie ever, but you've got fucking Christian Slater, Val Kilmer, Johnny Lee Miller, and LL Cool J, fucking tearing it up on screen, and they're all amazing in it. The film's fucking horrendous, but they're great in it. This film, he just was not great in it. I honestly, truly feel like Christian Slater didn't want to be there. And like I say, I swear to Christ, there are scenes where he's rolling his eyes when other people are delivering dialogue. Because he's like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, I was in Robin Hood.
Exactly. I was in Robin Hood. I'm an actual actor.
Yeah.
And I don't know who these people are. That's what it was.
Patricia Arquette was calling him. No. Ignore call.
But, right. And this is a little bit of trivia for you. something I noticed today which made me laugh. We don't exactly think Rotten Tomatoes is that good of a website. We take the piss. We hate them. They're not great. On the page for this movie, Stranded, 2013's Stranded, which stars Christian Slater. On the Rotten Tomatoes page, when you go to the cast list, it says Kevin James. There's no mention.
Fuck off.
There's no mention of Christian Slater being in this movie, apart from the poster at the top that says Stranded, Christian Slater. The cast list says Kevin James. It's the only name there, and it says Kevin James. I was fucking howling with laughter when I read this.
Well, at least Brigger would have liked that movie.
Brigger would have watched it just on that alone. But yeah, even they didn't give a fuck about this movie. They're like, just say Kevin James is in it. This for me is a 1,000,000% 0%ers.
Wow.
It's
I'm not going to give it 0%.
Don't defend it. Don't fucking defend it.
Wait a minute. I'm not going to give it 0%, right? Because there was at the sort of the end of the movie where not the you're never going to believe this bit at the end. Not that. Never that.
Sequel.
But because it fucking the alien that it like went into like a shed or whatever on Earth, on fucking Earth. And like, how did the fucking the alien obviously got into a space, a escape pod, and so how did it get to Earth? They were nowhere near Earth.
Because movies. Maybe it was a simulation.
Like
the whole time.
Archie was on the thing with him.
Yep.
Bush. But so it went into a shed, and then the fucking thing turned into Tim Curry. But.
Oh man!
But before that, so Christian Slater and the woman whose name I do not remember.
Neither did Christian Slater.
Just you.
You actress.
The escape. I was going to look like Bill Nye. Fucking.
He did not want to be on that.
You and or you.
He's seriously.
But the escape pod is landing.
In London.
Not the escape pod, sorry, the fucking backup.
Right, yeah.
Was landing. And so they've got the choice of whether to like sort of basically hold their breath and run for that, or wait for the alien Tim Curry fucking thing. So they like flip a coin.
Right.
And I actually thought the movie was going to end there, and they were going to do you're never going to believe this there. But so they flip a coin, and Christian Slater goes, fuck. And so they run.
Right.
And I love that little scene.
Why?
I don't know, I just did.
So you're not going to give it 0% because of that scene?
Because of that scene, because Christian Slater's in it, and because...
Is he? Is he?
Okay, I'll give it 1%.
I'll let you have 1%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think it deserves 0% exactly.
It does.
But I'll give it 1%.
This is the worst movie we've watched so far.
Fuck that.
For the 0%.
No, fuck
this
that. I'm
is
not having
the
that.
worst movie we've watched so far.
No, not having that at all.
It's so
What was the one we watched last?
Fuck. You're asking me like I remember.
No, I've had worse times watching a movie than this. On the 0%ers.
Nah.
Definitely.
Nah.
So I'm not giving it 0%, so you can set my balls.
Okay. Present them. So yeah, that is 2013's fucking Stranded. Yeah, I felt stranded.
That's the first time you've given it 0%.
I think it is.
I've given it a few times.
I felt hugely stranded watching this movie.
Nice.
See what I did there?
Nice. Impressive.
Segs all degs.
Fuck off.
Don't know what degs means, but... So yeah, I did have a 2012 movie all lined up. So I'm gonna curb that one just now, because you basically suggested that we do a Christmas movie.
May as well.
So
because
why the fuck not?
Time.
And my first response was, surely you don't give Christmas movies 0%. That's shocking behaviour. But it turns out you do. There are a couple. One of them has got Patrick Stewart in it. So I was tempted with that one.
I refuse to believe that.
I was tempted with that one, but I didn't. It's called Christmas Eve. It looks horrendous. It looks like, that Valentine's Day.
Tax bill.
Yeah, tax bill, definitely. Everybody in that movie is paying a tax bill, because there's quite a few stars. But I came across another one that I have heard of, never seen it myself, but it is wildly suggested as being possibly the worst movie of all time. So,
Shit.
yeah, a lot of people don't like this movie.
So we're going all guns blazing for a Christmas episode then.
Oh, fuck yeah, we might as well. Let's see, because I did have it here somewhere. So, right. So, the movie is called Saving Christmas. Have you heard of Saving Christmas?
Saving Christmas. When was it released?
This was released in 2014.
No.
It's called Saving Christmas. It's also known as Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. I think this is like some guy in America that Americans know, but we don't.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. So here is a little synopsis just to pique your appetite.
See, I was about to lose my shit there because there's a Christmas movie that I grew up watching, and it's got the woman from Back to the Future 3 who fell in love with Doc Brown in it.
Masterson. No.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I know who you
Aye.
mean.
It's got her in it, and it's called The Night... No, it's not. That's a lie. Different woman. No, it's the same woman. It's the same woman. Maybe. It's called The Night They Saved Christmas.
Right.
And it's like in the North Pole when they're like, the Americans, damn them, are drilling for oil and stuff, and they're like, the fuckers are about to like drill into like Santa's workshop. Bastards!
But then they would have spoiled Christmas.
I know, and that's the premise of the film.
Right. So
Aye.
it stars Kirk Cameron, and it says that here as if I'm supposed to know who that is. So make of that what you will.
Okay.
So it stars Kirk Cameron as a fictional version of himself. In Saving Christmas, Cameron, after explaining his views on Christmas directly to the audience, so he breaks the fourth wall, we like a bit of fourth wall breaking, tries to convince his fictional brother-in-law, played by the film's director, they've already lost me, that Christmas is still a Christian holiday.
Well, I've just Googled him, right? Mm-hmm. And so the first thing that's come up
Sex allegations.
is a video on the YouTubes on CNN from the... this is from 2012, to be fair. But Kirk Cameron says homosexuality is unnatural.
This sounds great.
We
may be onto a winner here.
Okay, no.
So
hurricanes. This is from 8th of September 2017. Kirk Cameron, hurricanes are punishment by God.
Is he that guy?
Is that the one who said that lesbians getting married are what caused the hurricanes? Well, shit.
He's made films.
He was in Growing Pains. Never heard of it. Fireproof, Saving Christmas, Like Father, Like Son, Unstoppable. Unstoppable?
Yeah.
Was that the one with
probably
Chris Pine and fucking Denzel?
Probably not. So the film combines a comedic narrative with educational elements in order to put Christ back in Christmas.
Oh, no.
It says that most of Christmas's popular elements are biblical in origin, while criticising the modern-day view of the holiday, especially from atheists. During the story,
we're going to have a go at atheists.
During the story, the film depicts some of the biblical events mentioned by Cameron, while he provides narration for the audience. The film received a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was nominated in 6 categories for the 35th Golden Raspberry Awards and won 4, including Worst Picture. It also reached number 1 on the IMDb Bottom 100 list within 1 month of theatrical release, and is now considered one of the worst films of all time. Of course, Cameron blamed atheists for the film's poor reception.
Of course he did.
I think we're going guns blazing on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay.
So have a drink.
You know what, mate? I am going to get fucking wankered before I watch this.
The poster looks good.
Because it's the only way I'm getting through it. If he's going to be doing a dose of religious bollocks, that's the only way I'm getting through it.
The poster looks cracking.
I think we should watch it together.
No. There's a cross on the poster.
What?
Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas. Put Christ back in Christmas.
This might finish me, you know.
That's a tagline. You asked for this. You fucking asked for a Christmas movie. It could have been Patrick Stewart or this.
I would have watched Patrick Stewart before that.
No, we're watching this.
Kev.
Saving Christmas, Kirk Cameron.
This might end the 0%ers for me.
I still don't know who Kirk Cameron is.
He sounds like a cunt.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
So quick little break. And we will go to the...
I don't know how I'm going to go on with this.
Top 5.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake from the History of Bad Ideas. And we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program here in just a second, geek listeners. But we do a weekly podcast called The History of Bad Ideas.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss things like television or movies or music or games or any other thing that falls into our geek-related podcast knowledge.
You can find us on Geek Life Radio, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, or Radio-Blitz, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, or you can listen to us whenever the hell you want on iTunes and Stitcher. Check us out. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Top 5 time.
Top 5 time.
What's the top 5, Chris?
Well, Kevin. So this one was actually, well, it was kind of brought about by Tom.
Yes, it was.
Because he put on his Facebooks during the week there, or like last week or something, that he'd been watching Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road, and he basically said that was the worst, the best film of the last decade.
Don't antagonize him.
And so I immediately, thought of Kevin Spacey in Superman Returns and went, wrong! But I didn't do that, obviously, because it's Tom. You can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
No, never that. Never that.
He's the man.
No, Tom's a good lad. But, so we kind of, sort of got a cracking away, the three of us, on the Facebooks and that. And so I suggested that Tom come on and do a top 5 movies of the last decade.
Yep.
But, he's
far too Hollywood for us.
He's too Hollywood. Yeah.
Too busy talking to his pal Nicholas Brendan.
Well, bless him.
I know. I can't say anything about that. Bless him. I mean, can you remember a single word you said to him that night?
Nope, still not a word.
That's a shame.
Still not one word.
That is a shame. I
can remember what I said to Maria Margulies, if that helps.
But when you went up to Nicholas Brendan, were you not just like... You'd had a drink.
I said it was an honour to meet him, which is a good thing.
Yep.
But yeah, the rest of it is gone from my head.
It's an honour to meet you.
I probably just went, and he was just going, I don't know what accent. I don't know what accent that is, but hello, Tommy.
It would have been great if you said Tommy. Right, so the top 5 is
top 5 movies of the last 10 years.
How'd you find this?
I found it easy to think of films, but less easy to whittle them down to 5. What?
Yeah, like I say, I had 43, then I had 21. I've got 7.
You actually literally had 43.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I wasn't that bad.
Forget honourable mentions.
I think I had about 20 at one point.
I literally went through year by year thinking, right, okay, what came out that year? And I had a look at Wiki and I'm like, right, okay, that. Next year, that. And then I was like, shit, I've got a top 5 for every year.
Yeah, it is a difficult one. I think we've done top 5 of all time before.
Yeah, we have.
But obviously, my top 5 always gets taken up by, Jaws and fucking Gangs and all that. So
exactly.
It's quite refreshing. I think my top 5 is movies that have never appeared in a top 5 before.
Mine,
maybe.
Not so much.
Maybe.
Mine probably have turned up quite a few times. So, I'll tell you what. We are going to do our top 5s, and then before we do our number 1s, I will play the little clip from Tom that Tom sent us with his top 5, and obviously we'll stop him at number 1, and then we'll do ours, and that's how that's going to go. So, what is your number 5?
So, my number 5, I've actually hobbied this,
obviously.
Yeah, because
like a motherfucker.
There's a reason.
Oh.
Because, so one of the movies is 2015 and one of the movies is 2016.
Never seen them.
You actually probably haven't seen either, to be fair.
Right, shit.
No, both of the movies are they're both true stories.
Okay.
And they're both stories about figures that, people that we didn't necessarily know a great deal about before the movies came out.
Okay.
Or me personally, anyway. So the first one is The Imitation Game from 2015.
Yep.
Benedict
Kumquat.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Use your
Fuck off.
umlauts.
I went to my fifth beer.
Call back.
Fourth beer. Fifth beer. And the other one is from 2016. That's Hidden Figures.
Yeah, they hid that one pretty well.
I think that both of these movies are just really important stories to tell. Like have you watched Imitation Game?
I haven't, but I have watched the other one.
Hidden Figures.
Yes,
right.
That one.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I very much enjoyed it. Got a little bit confused because somebody told me about a movie called The Human Calculator, which I hadn't seen, and then I watched Hidden Figures, and that was exactly the same story of the movie they told me about, the Human Calculator.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd watched Hidden Figures and got the name wrong.
Silly.
It was a woman. What are you going to do?
Fuck's sake.
I've seen Hidden Figures, but I haven't seen the other one.
I think you should watch it. Keira Knightley's in it? No?
I like Keira. No. I like her in Domino. I love Domino.
She's not playing Domino.
But I can take or leave Keira, to be fair.
Bless her. She's great.
She's okay.
Yeah. I think they're both fantastic movies. I think they're both very important movies.
Okay.
Done.
I'll let you have that one then.
Thank you very much.
So, my number 5 is a 2014 movie. We both love this movie. It's a shame that he followed it up with a fucking trashy piece of shit like La La Land. But Whiplash.
That's my... Did I put that in my top 5? No, it's in my honorables.
Excellent,
yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Whiplash is a fantastic movie.
Oh, yes.
It's fantastically directed. If you had have told me that I was going to watch a movie that is basically sort of a jazz style movie with like a drummer as the main character, just drumming away, I probably would have laughed my ass off at you and just called you a pretentious fuck. But J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller are amazing in this movie. Like, I would actually say I preferred Miles Teller in this movie to J.K. Simmons. Like, if I had to rate both the roles, I'm putting Miles Teller just ahead of J.K. J.K., don't get me wrong, taking nothing away from him. He's amazing in this movie. But I'm a Miles Teller fan, and he's fantastic in this. And this is the one that I hoped was going to make him. But Whiplash is fantastically made.
I think it probably did.
It did for a little bit, and then fantastic.
I don't think a little bit. I think that it depends. And obviously, it's not a film that, like, so you're not to sound like an arsehole, but like your sort of average Joe, your average Marvel,
your average Joe
movie. Our like Marvel movie fan, Star Wars fan will have seen.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone because it's about a drummer, basically, and like, so I think that in certain eyes and certain sort of avenues, it will be the film that made him because it's fucking fantastic.
But as well, that scene, I think it's like near the end of the film when he's just drumming away, and the camera's like on the drum, and you're seeing the stick hitting the drum,
and the sweat,
and it's just going on and on and on. And most other movies, a scene that goes on that long would lose me. I was on the edge of my seat watching it. Like, this is just fucking insane.
But it's like that scene goes from J.K. Simmons having fucked him over, because of what happened earlier on in the movie. It goes from that to
pure respect,
because he kind of nods at him, and he keeps going. It's a fucking beautiful moment in it.
The whole film in itself is excellently done, but those final scenes of the movie are just gorgeous. So yeah, Whiplash it's number 5. It didn't quite get any higher than number 5, but number 5 is a brilliant place to be for films of the last decade.
Good call.
So yeah, Whiplash, number 5.
Good call.
What is your number 4?
My number 4. I've hobbied it again.
Sweet.
Okay, so they are both movies from 2008.
Okay.
And they are both superhero movies.
Okay.
One of them, I believe at the moment, is still considered the best superhero movie ever made. Kind of stole Spidey's crown, but that's open for interpretation. The other one is, well, we're about to celebrate this now in a minute next year. The 10th, the build-up, the 10-year build-up. First one is The Dark Knight.
Yep.
Second one is Iron Man.
Dark Knight's my number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Iron Man kicked off the MCU, and like you say, here we are, 9 years later, about to celebrate basically what Iron Man started.
Yeah.
With it, I'll give you Iron Man big time. My thing with The Dark Knight is it changed everything. Like for me, The Dark Knight changed everything. It changed cinema as a whole. It changed the way people look at superhero movies.
Yeah.
It changed superhero movies. You're not going to get a better... Personally, I completely agree when people say that it's the definitive superhero movie.
Yeah, I think, well, before that came along, Spider-Man 2 was considered the best superhero movie ever made. That's what I mean when it's open to interpretation. I think mainstream-wise, there are more people will have seen The Dark Knight than Spider-Man 2.
I would say so, yeah. I'd agree with
there's
that.
no doubt in that whatsoever. But, it's Christopher Nolan, Christian Bale, fucking Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman, Heath Ledger, God bless him,
That's the thing about The Dark Knight, like, everybody remembers how good that movie was, and everybody will remember how good that movie was, but something you are never, ever, in a million years going to forget, and people are going to be talking about for the longest time to come, is Heath Ledger's performance.
Yeah. And that's where that movie, as opposed to certain other recent movies, Justice League, that movie will be remembered. Yeah. We'll still be watching and talking about The Dark Knight in, hopefully, if we're still doing this podcast in 10 years' time.
I fucking hope not.
We'll have our own Sky One TV show there by then.
We won't be speaking to each other in 10 years.
Christ, well, not with that attitude.
Not if this podcast's still going.
But that movie will still be talked about in 10 years' time. Movies like your Justice League and,
I've already forgotten about Justice League.
Even sort of your Thor films, I don't think they will. I think they will be forgotten about.
Yeah,
I mean, there are movies in the MCU that will be remembered, but don't roll your eyes.
Avengers.
Like that. I think Avengers Assemble. Yeah.
Yeah. Civil War, maybe.
Civil War, yeah,
maybe.
Iron Man, I think, will be remembered. Yeah, Iron Man. We've said it a lot on this show. If Iron Man flops, we are not having
there's no MCU.
Infinity War next year. And we're probably not having fucking Batman vs Superman, Wonder Woman.
Definitely.
If Iron Man fucks up, because really, Spider-Man was done.
Yep. No, I know what you're saying. I completely agree with you.
So Nolan had done The Dark Knight. Fuck The Dark Knight Rises. But, Nolan had done The Dark Knight. That was all done and dusted. If Iron Man fucks up, then we don't have a decade of superhero films.
No, we don't. I'm 100% agree with you. Like I say though, just for me as well, it just completely changed the landscape.
Yeah.
Not just superhero movies, just movies. It changed everything.
You've suddenly got Heath Ledger won a posthumous Oscar for, was it Best Supporting Actor?
Best Supporting, yeah.
Which, superhero movie that had never happened before.
And how many people do you know, or did you know back then, that said, yeah, Heath Ledger, that's a good pick?
No one.
Nobody said it. Everybody wrote him off. Everybody had a go. And then look what he did.
People are still doing that, though.
Yeah, of course they
People
are.
did that with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, but it was deserved.
Fuck off. Right, what's your number
4?
4, yeah.
My number 4 is a movie that came out just last year, 2016. It's a movie that normally, given the sort of person I am and the way I feel about certain political and world events, would normally not really do it for me. But it absolutely took me by surprise. I bought the DVD, which, by the way, was a criteria for my top 5. I had to also own the DVD.
Fair enough.
But Man Down.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I can't emphasize how much I love Man Down. Like, it's one of those movies that absolutely stole my heart. Like, and I'm not like you're like when it comes to the services and all that, you're quite. I don't want to say a patriot, but you are. Like you like support the troops and all that and kind of thing. Me, I'm not as much into that. You know, I support them, but I'm sort of like I don't think about it the same way you do, or the same way most people do. Like, I'm just not as with it as everyone else is when it comes to that kind of thing. This was a movie about a guy who was going through some absolutely severe PTSD, and you don't even know that that's what the movie's about until the end, and it just completely took me by surprise. It made me fucking cry. Mm-hmm. Shia LaBeouf, I don't care what anybody says about him. That kid can act. That kid can fucking act.
You're damn right. You're damn right, yeah.
In any movie that makes me think Jai McCourtney isn't a complete douche is worthy of a top 5 position in my books. And I didn't think he was a complete douche in that movie. Gary Oldman's fantastic in it. Even Kate Mara, who doesn't even know how to have emotions on her face, is great in that movie.
That dog movie she did, that spoke about...
The dog movie? Yes, she did.
She's a vet, and she's not a vet, like a veteran. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's trying to get the Alsatian... what the fuck's the name of the movie? Tits. Ah, fuck it. It's not called Tits. But, anyway.
But you know, like...
But she's great in that movie. Don't say she can't act.
Oh, she can act. She can act. I've seen her act, you know? But you know, like...
Don't tell me they don't have it.
But my thing, like, with the whole... The war and the soldiers and all that, I don't quite relate to it as well as you do, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm probably coming off like a complete not a fucking dick when I say that.
Don't worry.
But I don't relate to it as well as a lot of people do. And this movie completely stole me. Like,
yeah.
And I'll be completely honest with you. I've seen stories like in the paper or on the news or just like hearing people talk about it that since watching that movie has completely changed like the way I think about it, which is like, for me, is quite a fucking, don't want to say groundbreaking thing, but it's quite a big thing for me.
That's fair play.
But that movie changed the way I think about a lot of things, and it was all because of Shia's performance. Like, he's just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Dito Montiel, as a director, you do know I love Dito Montiel. Like, he Guide for Recognizing Your Saints. Love that movie. Like, that was another movie that took me by surprise. Yeah, Man Down. If you haven't seen it, you must see it. It's an absolute blinder of a film.
And fuck what that fucking website says to you. You need to watch that movie.
Yeah, because did it not make like $7 or something?
I think that was in the UK. It made like £7.20 or something like that. And
bullshit.
That's not fair. It's not a fucking fair representation of that movie.
It happens all the time.
But they made it a headline because it was a thing. It was the same with the fucking Uma Thurman movie. Like made like £13 or something in the UK. And fuck off.
It's because he's a cookie little bastard now. You know, bless him. He's a mental head.
Well, to be fair, that pisses me off when he does that shit. But
I don't mind when he does it. I find Shia LaBeouf like completely just interesting.
Probably in 20 years' time, we'll be thinking, "Oh, that guy's a genius," and stuff.
Exactly. He's so ahead of the curve.
But I just find him entertaining.
But if you're looking for a movie that is going to absolutely shock you, surprise you, and you're going to go into it thinking this will be pants, and it totally changes everything you think about things, that is the one to watch. Man Down.
Yeah.
So
that was again similar to Hidden Figures, an Imitation Game. I think it's an important movie because like.
And the problem is nobody's talking about it.
No, exactly. And I think that's a subject matter that people need to be talking about because it's a thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, well, like one of the reasons that like respect to the troops is so important to me is, well, I was brought up to like when I was about 5 years old, my granddad gave me a book about the First World War, and it affected me so much that I've got a fucking tattoo of it on my leg. I know. But so I was always brought up to, respect the troops and all that kind of thing. But, my brother-in-law was in Afghanistan.
Yep.
And he won't mind me speaking about it, but he has PTSD. He was in an IED attack, and a couple of the lads that he was in the tank with lost their lives.
Yeah.
And, it is a thing, and it does affect him fucking daily. And,
I can imagine.
And, my sister is supportive as fuck, and he did, when he was doing his speech at the wedding, like a fucking Uncle Brindit.
I mean, you are a muckle melt.
Jesus Christ, you're fucking kidding me, right?
You are, though.
No, he was doing his speech and he thanked Anne, and I was like, the table that I was on, like the head table was at obviously the head of the room.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That's the way that works.
But the table that I was on was like sort of just up from it. But my seat was sort of like the back. My back was to the head table. So obviously I was turned round like that, watching them do the speeches. And when Chris made his speech, he's doing his speech and all that, which lasted way too long. But, and then
they tend to.
He thanked Dan for getting him through it, and I fucking turned round and I was like that, like I was away. Bless him.
No, like it's definitely something that completely, I know it resonates with you a lot more than it ever would with me, but it has completely changed the way I think about a lot of things.
Okay.
And I think that's a testament to the movie. It's a supremely well made movie. Everybody's brilliant in it, and when you get to the meat and veg, like the meat and potatoes, and like what it's all about, it fucking killed me.
Yeah,
I was fucking dying.
I mean, I loved the fuck out of the movie as well. I know that you were bawling your bastard eyes out.
Aye.
I wasn't quite there, but I was in the movie.
Yeah. So
good call.
2016.
My number 3. This is from 2012. Now, when I was looking through this for the list, fuck me, 2012 is a damn good year for the movies.
Yeah, I did have a top 10 of 2012.
Yeah. It is 2012 was a really good year for cinema. This is a Tarantino movie.
Good.
It is Django Unchained.
I had it. It is definitely an honourable mention, but I left it off.
Yeah. I think from a top 3 anyway, I went for movies that I've watched a lot.
Yeah.
And I've watched Django Unchained a lot. I think the performances by everyone in the movie. Don Johnson again.
Yep.
Is that it? The performances by everyone in that movie is fucking fantastic. In my mind, it's Tarantino's best movie.
Yeah. I would 100% go for that. It's not a Tarantino movie that I would watch over and over again. Much like Reservoir Dogs, I could watch that over and over. Pulp Fiction, I could watch that over and over. Django, I kind of have to be in the mood for it, but it is definitely the best thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And I've said that since I watched it.
Yeah, I've probably, I've seen Hateful Eight a few times.
See, I've only ever watched that once.
I've seen it a couple of times. Jackie Brown, I fucking love Jackie Brown. Reservoir Dogs I've probably actually watched the least for some reason.
Yeah.
I never really got into Reservoir Dogs. I've got it on Blu-ray and I've watched it.
It's such an easy sort of Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
sort of
it's
watch.
great. I mean, it's got fucking Tim Roth. It's great, but I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
But Django Unchained, I think, is a fucking fantastic movie, and it's Tarantino. You got to have a Tarantino movie in your list.
I don't.
Well,
but yeah, Django.
You're wronging. So
Django was very close.
Yeah,
it was very close. Like to the point where just before we started recording, I took that one out.
Well, I'm glad you did. So you're number 3.
My number 3. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. Mine. Yeah. 2012.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. Number 3 is 2012. A little movie that came out and pretty much didn't really do much. We talk about movies that the superhero genre changed. This one, I felt it did change a lot after this film. Not enough to really go on and on, but Max Landis wrote it. Josh Trank directed it. Chronicle.
Oh, okay. I was trying to bloody think there.
I'm a massive fan of Chronicle. Like, obviously Dark Knight's going to go before Chronicle, but I honestly sat down to watch Chronicle and I thought, this is going to be okay. But when I'd read sort of like it's found footage, everything's done through like the mobile phones and stuff like that, I was kind of getting sick of found footage.
Yeah.
I was like, I've had enough of found footage. Paranormal Activity has done it to death.
Yeah, that was very much part of it. It was kind of, it went, meh, and then it was starting to go, meh,
it went very, 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 meh. But I felt when I watched Chronicle, you kind of get to a certain point in the movie. It's sort of when they've learned the power of the telekinesis. So when they've got that, and then they start floating the cameras around them. So it's no longer like they're carrying the camera with them or the jerky movements and all that. It's more fluid because they're using the telekinesis to control the cameras moving around them, which I thought was an extremely interesting way of doing it. I'm like,
I'll be honest with you, I've only seen it once.
Oh, it's fucking.
I loved it. I loved the fuck out of it, but I've only seen it once.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I was tempted to.
Dane DeHaan, isn't it?
Yeah, we love a bit of Dane
DeHaan.
DeHaan. He's fucking the nuts, man. But yeah, Chronicle. Just I don't know. Much like The Dark Knight, it's another one of those movies that sort of changed things for me. I was getting sick of the found footage. The found footage was dead to me. This film came out. Not only was it a really clever, interesting, intriguing superhero movie about 3 characters that were extremely flawed, but 2 of them sort of overcome that, and then Dane DeHaan just goes fucking nuts. Like,
I'm going to have to rewatch it. You got it on Blu-ray?
I have, yes.
Give me a line of it.
And that scene at the end when he's up against the tower and all that, and all the people are in the tower, and he's across the way.
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you make Dragon Ball Z look fucking great?
I have no idea.
You certainly don't do Matrix Revolutions. You do Chronicle. Like,
I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
It's a great movie. I love Chronicle. It changed a lot of things for me, and I think Josh Trank is a fantastic director, and I think they fucked him over on the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was some shit going on there.
There was some,
like, obviously, you know, he's a bit of a temperamental son of a bitch,
perfectionist.
But
we'll call him a perfectionist.
You know, from what we've. You know, the stuff that's come out about Justice League and fucking Age of Ultron.
You've got no idea what the studios are doing now.
Like, I mean, Age of Ultron broke Joss Whedon. You know,
it takes a lot to break that man.
I know. But you've got to wonder, he was the one that pushed back.
Yeah.
From, you know, when he was sacked from that. And it's like, you know, so they were obviously trying to go, well, you know, you got to do this, you got this, me, meh, meh, meh. And all that, and he went, fuck off. Mm-hmm. So, respect, if anything.
I'll respect to him. I mean, it's not done his career any favours, but respect to him. But I think he's a great director. I would love to see what his original version of the Fantastic Four was meant to be. We ain't never going to get that. No. And I would love to have seen what he was going to do with what was it? Was it the Han Solo movie he had?
Was it Rogue One?
Was it Rogue One he got sacked from?
I think he got sacked from Rogue One.
Right. Rogue One's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't want... Nah. Another Star Wars movie. Give him something else.
Nah, I don't think he's... No.
He's not working for a while.
He's counted for Indie, and we give him on Indie Talk.
Oh, we'll definitely get him on Indie Talk. Definitely. So what is your numero dos?
Right. So...
That's 2, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to follow towers. Uno, dos, tres.
Okay.
Right, so 2016 film by Mel Gibson, starring Andrew Garfield, Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to do
I to and fro from between this from my number 1 or number 2 slot. I fucking love Hacksaw Ridge. Yeah. I think it's a fantastic film. It's a return to form for Mel Gibson. And, you know, I know that a lot of people think, fuck that guy.
Don't fuck that guy.
He's made a lot of mistakes. Obviously, we're not fucking denying that. The guy fucked up. And he was fucked up for a long time. Mm-hmm. But I think that Hacksaw Ridge was him showing what he can do, what he can still do. And Andrew Garfield, man, he should have had the Oscar.
Yeah, you said that at the time. You said he was a bit robbed, but I mean, I've not seen it. I will watch it. I do want to watch it. It's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
no reason not to watch it, and I'm gonna. But you said that at the time that you thought Garfield was due that.
Yeah.
Do you think it was possibly because it was a Mel Gibson movie and people are still?
I think so.
People are still
I
hostile
think
towards it?
the fucking board or the academy or whatever you want to call them. I think that they were sort of thinking if we give the Oscar to a Mel Gibson film in any shape or one of the main ones, I don't know if it won any, I'm not sure, had given the Oscar to a Mel Gibson film at that point, then the fucking internet would have gone and.
Well, the internet does that with the Oscars anyway.
Well, the internet does that about fucking everything.
It's whitewashing.
The Jonathan Pye. I quite often share his videos on the Facebooks.
I've noticed.
He's great. I'm going to see him live in Newcastle in
Where
March.
was my invite?
I didn't. You liked him?
I watched his videos.
Well, you didn't tell me that. I would have got you a ticket. Too fucking late now.
What do you call fish with no eyes?
Wanda. What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ. But yeah, he did a video about that, about fucking
Hacksaw Ridge.
Outrage.
Right.
Just like, it's like social media is like, okay, outrage about this, and then it's
I
like,
watched that one.
I'm bored now, and then it's like outrage, and then I'm bored now, outrage. Yeah,
watch that one.
I think the guy's fucking great. Like,
yeah, he is good. He is good. I do like him. I do like him. I mean, obviously, not enough to get an invite, but yeah.
If you'd fucking actually said that you liked him, I would have gotten you a ticket. But then, saying that you like things is not really your style, is it?
Exactly.
Miserable prick.
So there you go.
But yeah, I went to see Ricky Gervais earlier on this year.
Yep. Was I invited to that?
Yes, you were invited to that. Yes, you fucking were. And then you went. Your reply was meh. But he in that stand up, it was Humanity, which I think is still touring,
right?
And America, I think. But he did a bit about social media and how obviously he does these social media about like animal rights and all that kind of thing, which all about.
Yep.
But one of the things that he did about social media was like social media entitlement.
Right.
Where people think, morons think that when he posts a thing on Facebook or a thing on Twitter, that he's directly speaking to them.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I'm not, I'm typing a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's akin to someone putting up a billboard in a town centre going, guitar lessons available. And the guy going, I don't want guitar lessons! That's basically what, social media entitlement is.
Yeah.
How did I get from Hacksaw Ridge to this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You've gone on a tangent.
Yeah. Hacksaw, the Oscars. Yeah. Hacksaw Ridge is fucking fantastic. I mean, if anybody hasn't seen Hacksaw Ridge, I think that you should very much go out and watch it. It's a fucking fantastic movie. It is just unflinching. It sort of shows the just devastation and violence of the Second World War. And Andrew Garfield is fucking fantastic.
Andrew Garfield.
I didn't say Garfield.
Garfield.
Well, don't put Spackermouth in my fucking head. I've done it. Yeah, that's
I'm going to watch it. I am going to watch it. So you have a believer in me.
Do I?
Yeah.
Me.
No.
Number 2, go.
So my number 2 is Dark Knight.
Oh shit, that's right.
Like I say, Nolan crafted an absolutely perfect trilogy. I know you're not a big fan of Dark Knight Rises. I still am. I still love Dark Knight Rises. Tom Hardy's fucking amazing as Bane. But when it comes to that trilogy, or when it comes to any superhero movie, fucking The Dark Knight is just a cut above.
See, that's the thing. Batman Begins is a damn good film.
Yeah.
And it gets forgotten about.
Big time.
Same as A New Hope.
I forget about it a lot.
Like, if you think of the original trilogy, you don't think of A New Hope.
No, because it's this thing where very rarely is it the case that the sequel is better than the original. So when it does happen, and you can cite them on one hand, really.
Godfather 2.
Godfather 2, better than the original. Everybody talks about it. Very rarely do people mention the first one.
Yeah.
You know, nobody mentions the third one. Fucking God forbid. You know, then you've got your
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2, way better than the first one. So people barely talk about the first one. The thing about Terminator is that Terminator 2 kind of looks timeless, whereas Terminator 1...
Very 80s.
Hugely
Yeah,
80s,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Massively
I know what you mean.
80s. And then, you know...
Aliens. Although I prefer the first one.
I don't know about Aliens. I
prefer the first one personally, but people do prefer Aliens.
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back, better than the first one. You know, so when that happens, it is a case of the first one gets forgotten about, people stop talking about it, because it's so rare that the second movie in a franchise, a trilogy, whatever, is better. And that was the case with Batman. People just keep forgetting about Batman Begins, and it is a fantastic film.
Oh, it is.
It's beautifully well made.
Cillian Murphy, man.
Cillian Murphy's fucking great in it. Even Liam Neeson's good in it. I have a particular set of skills. I'm Ra's al Ghul. That would be great if he did that as Ra's al Ghul. I'm Ra's al Ghul. I have a particular set of skills. Mm-hmm. Let's go to Nanda Puppet.
What?
Nanda Puppet. It's where yeah, that was more in Arrow. So yeah, we are going to go on to our number ones in just a minute, but we're gonna find out what Tom Hollywood Paton has given us for his top 5, and see if he's got any that we've got.
Okay.
Do you think he's got any?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out in a minute.
I've got a funny feeling that I know what his number 1 is.
What's going to be thingy with it?
I do have a feeling.
Ish.
So we will play that now, and we will listen along with you, lovely, lovely listeners.
Hi, my name's Tom Paton. I'm the writer-director of the upcoming movie Black Site, as well as Redwood from this year's Fright Fest and Pandorica. Pretty excited to come on the show and talk about my top 5 movies of the last 10 years. Obviously, that's a really big ask. I mean, there's so much amazing stuff that's come out in the last decade, and whittling it down to 5 is... a genuinely tough task by anybody's standards, but I've done it. These are, I'm not by any means saying these are the outright greatest films of all time, but for me, these are the movies that have resonated the most, or left the longest impression, or that I feel I could watch time and time again. And I think as well, I was trying to go, okay, what's the criteria for this? And I kind of went with, well, if I think they'll be talking about them in film classes in 20 years' time, then that's the benchmark for making the list. So with that in mind, here we go. My top 5 pick for the top movies of the last 10 years. So number 5, District 9. Neil Blomkamp obviously directed this movie. I think it was in 2009 it released, and I just remember watching it and thinking, holy shit, this is insane. I mean, it felt like a big Hollywood blockbuster with brains, set within this culture that we rarely get to see in cinema, and I just found everything about it fascinating. And, I think if you're the kind of person that doesn't see the real-world parallels between what's going on in the movie and what's going on in the film, then you should really go and educate yourself, because it really is a masterpiece of... taking social commentary and then plugging it into a science fiction setting so that you can just enjoy it as a great piece of entertainment if you want, but actually there's a lot to learn about the world and humanity, and potentially seeing that there's not so much different between us all after all. So a genuine classic in my opinion, a benchmark in terms of lower end VFX, and a movie I would recommend you watch immediately if you haven't. Number 4 for me, I'm going with Arrival from last year. Again, just an incredible use of a science fiction setting and doing something different with it. And I think from a filmmaking perspective, what I found fascinating about it is how they take, classic story tropes and, the audience expectance for what we know a story is going to do, and then use it against you as a viewer to really rug pull with you and create this big twist. And I think for a film set against such a big, backdrop as, the invasion of Earth, to have such a personal, tragic story at the center of it is just an incredible achievement. And, I think, again, in terms of technical skill level, acting, cinematography, sound design, even the creatures, it all just felt so unique and so different to me that, I can see myself returning to that movie time and time again. And, and I think that it's one of these movies that rewards you every time you watch it. There's a new layer or a new clue that you didn't spot last time, and everything about it is thought out. The world is so fleshed out that I think film students are going to be picking over it for years. So, number 4, that was Arrival. My third pick is a strange one, but I love this movie. I just think it's an absolute classic, and that is Pixar's WALL-E. Just a beautiful ode to cinema in all its shapes and sizes. It's a science fiction film. It's an animation. It's, for the first, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, it's a silent movie. And it really takes you on a cinematic journey from, the birth of cinema all the way through. And in some respects, I think it, even though it's an animation, it explores the same journey that, a film like 2001 explored, but in a completely different context, a romantic comedy about two mismatched robots, and the world building, the character drive, the way that, WALL-E behaves, he feels like you've known that character your whole life, but at the same time he's unique and he's his own entity, and just a genuinely great movie, one that I'm sure one day I'll be watching with my grandkids and saying, yeah, this is a film that I think you should watch. And I love everything about it, and I really highly rate WALL-E as one of the best films of the last 10 years. Number 2 for me is, I think, a fairly obvious one, and it's one that a lot of people are going to put on their list if you were asked this same question. But again, I just feel it is an absolute masterpiece of storytelling and a benchmark for its entire genre, and that is Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. I mean, to take a Batman movie and to fuse it onto something like Michael Mann's Heat, which is essentially what he did, just a genius move. And I don't genuinely think that we've had a better on-screen villain than Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, he's the definition of scary. He's nihilistic. He's incredible to look at visually. What Heath Ledger does with the character in terms of taking those comic book sort of quirks and then turning them into this real-world terrorist that feels entirely fleshed out, completely believable. And what's so great about it is that he doesn't even have a backstory. The way he lies about his backstory becomes his backstory, and just a real footnote for directors such as myself to go, if you're going to tell a story about a character and you need a genuinely good antagonist, this is how you do it. The cinematography is incredible. Hans Zimmer's score is unbelievable. The intro scene with how we're brought into first meeting the Joker is just masterful in its execution. It's one of those movies that I will watch again and again and again. It doesn't matter how many reboots of the DCEU we get. Like, I don't think that we will ever get close to what Nolan did with his Dark Knight trilogy, but particularly the second one. I mean, just a phenomenal movie, phenomenal cast, well worth your time. So absolutely invest in seeing it if you haven't already. But of course you have, because it made so much money. So. And finally, my number 1 pick for the top 10 films of top 5 films, of the last 10 years is Mad Max Fury Road. I couldn't be any more in love with this movie if I tried. I love every single frame of it. It is the most astonishing accomplishment that a 71-year-old man has ever done. A real labour of love. It took decades to get off the ground, switching cast, and I just, if you'd have told me that a Mad Max film would be one of my favourite movies of all time, let alone the last 10 years, I'd have said no way. But this is just such a phenomenal piece of filmmaking. So much is done with so little language, and I mean, this is what cinema is supposed to do. It's a visual medium, and this film just grabs you by the balls, drags you all the way down Fury Road, and then drags you back again. And it's not apologetic. It doesn't care whether you're, a little bit, the kind of person that shies away from this sort of bonkers stuff. It just says, this is the world that we're dealing with. Get over it and get involved. And it is genuinely one of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever had in a cinema. And I must have seen it 10 times since. I've watched the black and chrome version recently. And it's funny because they changed nothing about the film other than it being in black and white yet. It's a testament to what a great film it is, that it feels like an entirely unique experience all of its own. I don't know if we ever even need another Mad Max. I'm almost like, if that is all we get, then I don't think there's anything left to say. It's such a beautiful, well-crafted movie that I don't think anything else could live up to it. And it's not just my number one pick, it's my number one pick by an absolute zillion miles. So if you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, or if you just were the kind of person that missed it because you didn't like the original trilogy, you don't need to know anything about those films. You can get invested in this as its own thing, and I promise you it will be the singular most rewarding cinematic experience that you'll have in a very, very long time. So there you go. That is my top 5 list. I don't think I could have picked 10. It would have took me too long. That's my top 5 list of the movies from the past 10 years. I'm really excited to hear what the guys come up with and what they say. I've got a feeling our list will be very different, and I think it's fun to play these kinds of things. I think it's interesting to come and look at the films that you've been inspired by over the last few years and say, this is what I love, this is what I don't love. Bizarrely, I think I'd have found it easier to make a list of my worst 5 movies of the last 10 years, but it's not quite as fun, is it? But anyway, guys, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you for having me on the show. Hopefully it's been an interesting 10 minutes for you listening to my favourite movies. And if you haven't seen them, go and check them out. Every single one of them is worth your time. So thank you very much for having me on, and I'll see you all soon.
Was that Tom trying to book his next episode? Top 5 worst episodes.
Ooh.
Top 5 worst movies. That was a very, very interesting list.
Yeah, I've never seen Arrival.
I haven't yet, no. It is one that I keep meaning to watch, but I haven't seen it.
I love Amy Adams, so that was a shocker.
Let's rectify that one. We'll watch that. I think we should
watch that. Yeah, fair play. Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much.
You happy with Mad Max?
I have tried to watch it a couple of times.
Yeah,
and I've put it off the same number of times. I'm sorry. If you love the movie, then all respect to you, all fair play and all that. I watched the Mel Gibson, I think the first 2 Mel Gibson ones when I was, young.
3.
Not 3. No, I was, but yeah, way back I watched the Mel Gibson ones, but I don't know, like I put Fury Road on twice, and I just couldn't watch it.
I'm not a massive fan of Fury Road, and I've said that before on the podcast, but one of the things I do, like Tom says, one of the things I do completely agree with is when you read about like the behind the scenes and all that, and the painstaking lengths that they went to make the movie and to get everything spot on, because it's all practical, everything's practical. The length they go to make some of those set pieces, when you read about it, is extraordinary. How they even managed to do it,
yeah,
and how they managed to get all the moving parts moving at the right time and just getting everything. That to me is more interesting than Fury Road. Like, because I didn't love the movie. Tom Hardy just kind of grunts his way through the movie. And for me, it was a little bit of a waste of Tom Hardy because he's a fucking awesome actor, But I agree with everything he says, like, just how it was made and how beautiful it looks. I agree with that. Just not a massive love.
Never gotten past the bit where they're chasing Charlize Theron.
That's like the whole movie.
Through the desert.
Yeah, that's the whole movie.
And the guy's on the front of the thing.
And there's sand.
No, the guy. There's lots of sand. Yeah, lots of sand. It's like fucking Anakin with the. No, the guy's on the front of the vehicle with the thing, with the guitar.
Oh, the big flamethrower guitar.
It's like,
yeah.
That's such a waste of resources.
They're in the fucking apocalypse, man. Why are you wasting resources?
Well, and also, like, they have the bit.
There's people starving in Africa, which I hate.
I've been in meetings where I've said that. But no, there's also the bit where they have all the people out gathering and that, and they lift up they let the water cannons go or whatever, the pipes go on as those are shit in fucking water pipe pumping out, pumping out, buddy. And it's like, well, that's a waste of water, isn't it? Most of that's going on the ground.
You're just supposed to enjoy movies,
and
mate.
Just logistics, Kev. Logistics.
You're just supposed to enjoy movies.
No, I'm sorry. I just couldn't get away with it at all. I just couldn't get away with it.
I'm not a massive fan.
I can't watch films with poor logistics.
So yeah, Tom, again, huge, massive thanks for doing that, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
definitely.
It's just great because Tom's a busy man. He's making his movies. He's a director. He's obviously a very, very busy man. And for him to take time out for a couple of jerk-offs like us and record a 10-minute little thing with them, the top 5 and that, it means a lot to me. So I'm good with his list. I'm going to watch The Arrival.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. But
it was one that I saw a trailer for it. I can't remember what movie I went to see at the cinema, and I saw a trailer for it, and I thought, that looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and it's one of those ones I never got round to watching. So, I'm up for watching The Arrival.
I'm going to watch that. Watch that. And District 9.
Yeah, fair play.
Quite a surprise,
Fair
but
play.
it is a cracking movie, so... Bit of Neil Blomkamp.
Give us Alien 5.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. So, Chris.
Yeah.
What is your number one movie of the last decade?
Right. So it's from 2012 again.
It's a good year.
Oh, good year. Yeah, it's a Spielberg movie.
Oh.
Daniel Day-Lewis movie.
Oh.
Fuck off. Do, sir. Lincoln.
Yeah. Not on my list.
Fuck you.
It's not my number one. No, when I went through the years, I knew that was going to be somewhere on your list. I kind of thought it might have got edged out as an honourable mention.
No, I've watched it loads of times. You know when you're in the mood for a bit of proper fucking acting.
Yeah.
And there's like little to no action in the movie apart from the very start. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Just checking, all right.
Don't be totally like taking piss out of my viewings. I don't know what's going on.
You've had way too many of those ciders.
We're 3.5 hours in.
Aye, we are 3.5 hours in. Yeah, there's no action in the movie other than the very start. There's like a Civil War moment in the start. It's basically Daniel Day-Lewis just monologuing his way through the movie. There's other fucking performances. Like Sally Field is fucking-tastic in it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Robin, is in there as well. James Spader is in there. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones is amazing. It looks beautiful. There's quite a few true stories in my list.
Yeah. You like a true story.
I do like a true story. Again, an important film, an important story to tell.
American. If you're American, it's important.
I'm Scottish and I think it's important.
Well, you should put like The Last King of Scotland on.
No. It's Forrest Whitaker's in it. No, I think it's just an amazing film. I've watched it God knows how many times. And fucking Daniel Day-Lewis, man.
Yep.
I'm still pissed off that he's retired, bastard. And apparently there's nothing wrong with him.
Do you wish there was something wrong with him?
No. No.
Kind of sounds like you do.
Well, no, but I read a thing like last week at some point where he's got his final movie coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it's like, about fashion or something.
Ugh.
But I think it's like his character is a fucking wrong'un.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be like an intense and creepy one.
Ew.
So I think, you know how he goes all method? I think that maybe that broke him.
Like
and that's why.
When Leo did Django and just about broke him. Because Leo, like, after Django, because he did like Wolf of Wall Street, he did Django, and he did The Revenant.
Yeah.
Very close together.
Yeah.
But after Django, he basically, there was a lot of things. I don't know if it was because he went straight into The Revenant after that, or was it The Revenant and then Django? Might have been the other way around. But basically, once he done Django, like, he was like, I'm going to take a year out. I'm taking time off because fucking I'm snapped.
Yeah.
And they reckon the thing was that he'd never played a character so evil and despicable as he did in Django, and that just totally threw him.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's fucking great in
Well, apparently he's about to. H.H.
Well,
Holmes.
yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
He'd be good in that.
So do you think Leo is the next Daniel Day-Lewis?
I think he's always been the next.
If he's going all method like that.
I don't think. See, the thing is, I don't think Leo is that method. I just think he fucking goes for it. Like, I think he's one of those actors that, like, he doesn't go method, but he throws himself into a role, and I think he just goes to places that he doesn't really realise he's going there. He just goes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And, like, you get fucking gold on the screen. Like,
yeah.
He's no George Clooney, who knows what he's doing at all times and is checking his hair every 2 minutes. He's an actor that just goes for it. But I don't think he's Daniel Day-Lewis method actor.
You see, the thing with method, right, is
you turn into a bit of a twat.
Well, if you were on set, if me or you were on set, you know, if we were like actors,
yeah,
why not?
Why not?
Why not? We can both do impressions.
Come on, Tom, set up.
But if we were both on set, in between takes on that, and then like say somebody like Daniel Day-Lewis was going about like as Bill the Butcher,
yeah,
and you know, as Bill the Butcher through the entire filming,
mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just me and you because we're like me and you. But we'd be going, fuck off, mate. Like, do you want a burger or not?
You pretentious fuck.
Get a fucking... Have a word with yourself, son. Come on. Yeah, but...
That's not even your beard.
Apparently, the filming of his upcoming movie, which is his last, is the one that made him go, you know what, I'm ready to... I'm done. I'm ready to fucking finish this.
Well, at the end of the day, what is left for Daniel Day-Lewis? Like,
that's the thing. I suppose
can he win anything? Can he portray anyone as like, what is left for Daniel Day-Lewis?
Well, JFK. He could portray JFK. Well, I mean, what other? I mean, you know, he's portrayed Lincoln.
Yeah,
he's portrayed Abe Lincoln.
He's
I mean,
done it all.
Like, so you know, he's very, very selective with his roles. Mm-hmm. Like Bill the Butcher, you know, another real character in history. Abe Lincoln, obviously. I'm not entirely sure what the crack is with who he's playing. I think it's another real character.
Is he playing Kevin Spacey?
Oh no! There you go. Next film. Come out of retirement, son. Play Kevin Spacey.
Come out of retirement and play like Harvey Weinstein.
Jimmy Savile. Bush. Nah. Done.
He'd be a great Jimmy Savile, wouldn't he? Like, I don't want to cast that movie, but...
He'd be a great Jimmy Savile.
Imagine Daniel Day-Lewis. Now then. Good no! Jim will fix it for you. Good no!
Wow. So what's your number one?
Oh, I'm glad I didn't go there. My number one is a 2009 movie. I'm going ways back. It's pretty much a movie that I've watched a million trillion times. You've watched a million trillion times. And if you go back to our very first episode of this podcast, you will hear us talking over this movie. It's the movie that the podcast is pretty much founded on. The movie is Fanboys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was older.
It was made before 2009, but it was officially released in 2009. Right. I think it took about 4 years to get that movie out. Because obviously I've mentioned it before, it was pretty much Kevin Smith that was vocal in getting it released. He pretty much helped the guys get it out there. But we love Fanboys. It's been, I don't know how many times I've watched it. I fucking lost count.
Oh yeah, same here.
When we decided that we were going to do a podcast, it started off as the website. We were reviewing the films on the website. It was taking us 3.5 hours to 2 days to write a fucking review on the website. And
you started it all off, didn't you, with the 365 challenge, and then it kind of you made a good effort.
Yeah, I think I got 12 in.
And then you kind of went to me, do you fancy getting involved? And then it kind of just went downhill from there.
It did. When you got involved, it went downhill.
All right, okay.
But then it became let's do a podcast. Let's talk about films and TV shows, and let's talk about this and that, things we love, things we don't love, and people will enjoy hearing us just talk shit against each other because that's all we ever do. The first ever episode we did, we sat down and watched Fanboys and talked shit about Fanboys, and I think it was the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, when we got the Batman vs Superman trailer.
That's right.
And history was made that day.
Yeah.
And here we are fucking 3 years later, and I'm still watching Fanboys every other week. 2009 Fanboys, I fucking love the movie. It's pretty much why we do this, in my mind. And, yeah, Fanboys.
Good call.
And we are going to make that trip to Skywalker Ranch.
Oh.
As they did. And I want a Fanboys too.
It's not going to happen.
No. They could, though.
Because Mickey Mouse will, just
buy everything.
Assassinate them.
He'll just buy everything. I'm just going to buy every fucking film
Mickey Mouse will buy the van so they can't get there.
I'm going to buy everything because I'm fucking Disney and I can buy everything. Yeah. Fanboys is my number one. It's a movie that I think is tremendous. If you haven't seen Fanboys, because I know there's a lot of people out there who haven't, it's a very, very low budget movie that people just sort of missed back in 2009.
I can't think of anyone who's seen it apart from you.
Exactly. And it's probably the same for me. I don't know anybody who's seen it, to be honest. But it's one of those films that I go back to all the time. Everybody in it is fantastic. Everybody that's in it has gone on to do amazing things. And yeah, Fanboys.
Yeah, good call.
2009.
I didn't even think of that. Honestly, I thought it was way older.
Because I'm way more nostalgic about the podcast than you.
Well, I just like Daniel Day-Lewis.
So that is the top 5 of the last decade. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so all 4 hours of it.
All 4 hours. You know what? This is getting ridiculous. We seem to be getting
We
longer.
are turning into those conspiracy guys, slowly but surely. Just talking slightly more shite.
This is getting longer and longer, and I thought...
It's because we've not been doing it as much, to be fair.
I thought for a while we were getting better.
We were, but, we've been so fucking busy for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
We've been so fucking busy, and when we were doing it every 2 weeks... we were getting stuff off our chests. I really fucking needed this today.
I know. I needed the drink, to be honest. Not good for me podcasting while drinking, but
yeah. 6 cans in,
so that's that.
That's it. 97.
97 is done.
So we've got a few more indie talks. Do you reckon 100 before?
A few things
end of the
lined
year
up.
Still.
It's looking possible. We've got definitely 2 indie talks lined up.
Well, we've got 2 indie talks, so it's 99. So
and then we'll just throw in a Christmas episode.
Go to a Christmas episode
or a New Year episode. I'm not doing the same thing we did last year. I might.
That was pretty cool, to be fair.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we're going to play a little bit of music for the outro. And,